Hey there, NPCs. Welcome to Rules of Cool, where we interview very special guests, creators, gamers, designers, and world builders. I'm your host, Triz, and today we'll be chatting with writer Thomas Willoughby. We have a fantastic giveaway of a signed Shadowrun 5e core rulebook. Type for NPC in the chat for a free entry to win. The drawing will be done at the end of today's episode of Emerald Glitch. Destiny is calling from an 800 number. Coming up right after Rules of Cool. You can also get bonus entries by donating bits or subscribing. Every 100 bits gets you a bonus entry, and subscribing gets you 7 whole bonus entries. If you are looking for all natural soaps, lotions, potions, and more exciting alchemical wonders, look no further than Pure Alchemy Soaps, specializing in handcrafted RPG themed soaps with unique fragrances that perfectly encompass who your character is in any campaign. Check out the link in the chat below to get your own here in just a moment. Persephone is now available on the BackerKit Pledge Manager for pre-order. The prolific science fiction author Kevin J. Anderson has teamed up with film producer Jeffrey Morris to bring you this story of space travel and human survival. Check it out now to get your copy and other awesome rewards. Embark on a nostalgic journey with Dear Pen Pal Belgium 1980, a captivating Kickstarter project by award-winning author Jennifer Brozek. Immerse yourself in 24 heartfelt letters mailed to your home and penned by a fictionalized 10-year-old Jennifer navigating the challenges of a Belgian school in another country, all while maintaining a vivid imagination and befriending a ghostly companion. Follow the project to get notified on launch by clicking the link in chat in just a moment. Now, to get right into our conversation for this week, stay tuned, NPCs. Welcome back, NPCs. Oh, and also, welcome to the show, Thomas.
Hello! Please excuse the car alarm of my neighbor going off very quietly in the background. Perfect timing.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. They can probably barely hear it. Let us know if you can. Uh, but as we always like to start the show with, Thomas, what is your history as a gamer?
Hello! I am one of the old guard, not the full-on grognard guard, but I started playing D&D in 1978. So I am technically in my sixth decade of gaming at this point. So I'm 51 years old. So how do you have more decades than you have years? Do the math. But um, but yeah, so I have been playing for an exceedingly long time, going through multiple systems, um, and I'm still playing today because it's fun. If the old panic years of the '80s couldn't stop me, I don't think anything else is going to.
You know, I absolutely fair. Yeah, oh gosh, I remember the '80s like it was yesterday.
Yes, Tom Hanks owes us all an apology. No, see, Mazes and Monsters, a little throwback for you kids. How you doing? Um, but no, it's fun. I'm still in the game after all these years, and hopefully I'll be here for, well, not for another 6 decades. That would be a little frightening, but for a few more decades, we'll do it up. So
I'm sure you've got it in you.
yeah, I mean, if you can play pachinko in a retirement house, surely to goodness we can get some D&D campaigns going.
I feel like by the time you're rolling in there, of course, more than likely they're going to have their own D&D campaigns. They're going to have tables set up and everything.
Exactly, and not pachinko, keno. That's a totally different thing. But either way, yeah, pachinko is the Japanese metal balls, incredibly loud,
Right.
so good lord loud. Oh boy. Wrote about them in a Shadowrun book, so dig around, you'll find it.
Fair enough. Well, we'll get in that in just a moment. But
Absolutely.
our next question What is your favorite RPG? Now, that can be either something that you have worked on, or you can put them into categories if you'd like. But what is your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite child,
Um, that would be more than likely the original Torg. The remat of the rebuild of Torg Eternity, is out and about now, and it's fantastic. But the game that I fell in love with, truly in love with, was the original Torg, and you never forget your first love. You know, you just don't. So that's my baby. Um, but boy, there have been many over the years. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had its time. Champions, oh my goodness, I've played the hero system since it was invented, basically. Obviously, Shadowrun, I've been part and parcel of. D&D, because, well, it's D&D. How can you not enjoy Dungeons and Dragons? But goodness, the closet of doom over my shoulder is chock full of books that I can't show you currently because I don't have my camera running. Sorry, guys, audio only for this one. But if you could, good lord, the amount of books back there.
it's okay.
Where,
We'll have you back, and you'll be able to show it all off.
yay, yeah, World of Darkness all over, werewolf, vampire, all that jazz is back there. Yeah, so there's just ludicrous amounts of games back there. I've not played them all, but I've played far too many. So, uh,
No. That's absolutely fair. I just like we were talking about before. I feel like D&D couldn't be getting any more attention than right now.
oh,
And
absolutely.
of course, we have our video games to thank for that. Partially, I'd like to think, just for making it more accessible to everyone who
Oh,
doesn't have a piece of paper and pen ready at all times.
yeah, absolutely. And if we bring video games into this, then I'm gonna chat for far too long. I'm I was an old arcade rat back in the days, back when arcades were a thing. Again, I'm old. I'm sorry,
Oh,
but
you're all right. I have an arcade. Well, I guess it's technically a barcade, but you can still just go and play some video games and play some good cabinet games. I love it.
oh yeah, I in fact used to hustle for money on a few of them. I made a lot of money playing Dragon's Lair back in the day when it was still brand new and no one had seen the ending. And I'm like, oh, I'll play to there and I'll get to it. And they're like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah, we'll put money on you on whether or not I can beat it. And they're like, oh, I don't know. The trick was, well, twofold. One, I was 10 years old when Dragon's Lair dropped, so I'm in the zone. And two, I would show up with a piece of cardboard that I would then put over the screen so you couldn't see it, and bet them I could beat it
Oh,
with the screen covered. And then the money would come out in big droves. And then I would beat it without being able to see, and then remove the cardboard so they can see the ending. And then scoop my money and walk off. And then I was ready to go for another month of arcade shenanigans. So, yeah.
whenever you said that I didn't fit all three categories of nerd, I completely understand what you mean now. I I don't think that I could have ever beat, because I've never been great with QuickTime events, but I definitely do not think that I could beat Dragon Slayer uh with full vision, much less blindfolded.
Yeah, it is. It's a bunch of memorization and rote and timing. And I used to have the incredible timing. I could play video games on the competitive level, like go to state level championships and stuff. But that was, you know, 40 years ago when I was doing that. 30 years ago, I was at my prime, and that was also, goodness, 150 pounds ago. So reaction time, not quite what it used to be on the scale. So my Street Fighter and Tekken skills, they're still there, but the mind is willing, the body is weak.
I think that you could do it. I think that you could do it. If we'll figure it out. But you need to come see a barcade or anything that's still out there, because they have all of the best parts of getting to play a lot of those older cabinet games without the
Hmm.
need of quarters. It's just a one-time fee. You can play all day.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing. My We had one here in town for a while, and my niece was complaining about two games down there. One was the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle four-player side scroller,
Oh.
which she had never seen anyone get very far in, and the other one, which makes me so happy, was the original version of Tron, where it's the stand-up cabinet with the like the flight stick and the twin dials. And she's like, "Yeah, there are four levels on there, but no one can beat them." I'm like, "Well, no, there's that's not really levels. There's like four sections, and then you go to the next level." It's like, "What do you mean? Well, when you beat the four sections, no one can beat the four." And I'm like, "Oh, child, what are we doing this weekend? Let us go, and I must educate you." So I got to go to the barcade with her and her friends. Pulled out one shiny quarter because it does run on quarters for this one,
Mhm.
and proceed to demonstrate to them quite a few levels of Tron, because it's like, maybe I haven't played this in 30 years, but it's Tron and I got this. And I'm just, oh, it feels so nice to have a crowd behind you oohing and awing that you just can't get in like online play when it's just you and, playing one or two people. And yeah, when you have a crowd of a dozen people behind you, like, yeah, ah, that's when you are crushing it in the video game world. And I love that. And I would do that any day of the week. Absolutely.
Just having them back there going, I didn't know that this level existed. How?
Oh, yeah. It's like, wait, there are more light cycles? Oh, yes, there are. And they get very, very fast. But yeah, it's fantastic time, and I do love it. Now, I do know my reaction time is shot though, because I have tried the occasional first person shooter, and for one, I'm having to do it with a controller, not a mouse and keyboard, so my aim is terrible. And two, I'm very kinetic in my motion, in that like I need to use my hearing and all these other things to know where I'm at. And first person shooters don't give you that option. They're all using an old driving engine for how you move around,
Mm.
similar to what you get on like pole position. Yeah, throwing it way back. Or the newer racing games were like, okay, you can be in behind the steering wheel, or you can go to the front bumper and zip around. That's the engine they use to drive a first person shooter. And my old brain just doesn't process this. And I'm like, what am I running into? Oh, there's a thing on the ground. I need to move over. Oh, I've been shot by several children. Oh dear. So it's
Don't worry, it is.
yeah.
I don't think it's a matter of reaction time. I really do not, because I
Uh,
like to think that my reaction time is decent. But anytime I've tried loading up into any of those first person shooters, I absolutely get annihilated. I
yeah.
don't have a shot. So I think you're
Yeah.
okay. I
So
think kids are just too good now.
yeah, kudos to those with the 360 no scope headshots. This is not this is not my category. I my 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 golden ages are long behind me. But but I still support you. I'm not able to keep up with you. And for my boy Rusty Zimmerman, give it up, Rusty. We have gotten to play some Overwatch together, and we don't play anymore because I sadly can't keep up with the team. He's so much better than I am. But I'm his hype man, so I'm always happy to cheer him on. Go Rusty! Even if I'm being annihilated at his side, it's fine.
I
But
feel like
I
he
do.
just needs to train more then, because to pick up your slack, right? Isn't that how that works?
No, he's good enough for two people, but I still feel guilty that I'm not carrying my share of the load. Plus, Overwatch kind of rebuilt all the characters that I played because, again, I can't aim.
Hmm.
So I'm like, oh, is that an engineer with a turret? Why, yes, I think that will be my primary character. Please do the shooting for me, machine. I'll be over here hiding in a corner and throwing heals out for my team. Ha ha.
Is
And
this
then
your
all
way of
that
saying that you're a Torbjorn main? Because I'm behind it.
I was 100% a Torbjorn main. My time, you can look it up online. I think I'm still on like one of the Overwatch things. My Torbjorn time was redonkulous. Bringing an old word back. How you doing? And I was at one point like number two in the world on normal number of armor packets created because no one ever did it, and I'm just throwing them around like cotton candy every few seconds to all of my partners. It's like, you guys go out and fight. I'm just gonna hide back here and throw armor at you. Keep alive, boys. Keep alive. Um, I was like number 3 in the world in Symmetra at one point because she had the thing I need. It's a lock on beam. Oh, I don't have to aim. I just get vaguely close. Then the beam hits them, and then they jump around and die. Perfect. Oh, and I've got little turrets, mini mines I can throw around that will also target things for me. Even better. So I killed so many Hanzo mains with Symmetra. Oh my lord! Just I'm gonna get the lock on beam there. Oh, you're gonna try your little flip to the side, high speed jump. Nah, not happening. Oh, you're gonna turn and try to shoot the floor to kill me. No, I've got the little launchable force field. I'm gonna aim at the floor and just absorb your whole arrow. Doesn't do anything, and then lock in beam finishes you off. Whatever. Got on my way. So both of them got remade. Torbjorn's turret got downgraded. Doesn't have the level 3 thing anymore. Doesn't have the armor chucking ability anymore. Oh, he's got much better first person shooter skills. You can hit your ultimate now and like, oh, double the speed that you shoot. And I'm like, oh, I can miss twice as often. Huzzah. Uh, so yeah, I shouldn't do that when
Well,
I've been drinking. Sorry.
no, no,
Uh,
no, you're all right.
but yeah.
Well, not only are which is new knowledge to me, are you a video game fanatic, but also, of course, as the title of the stream says, you're a writer. Uh,
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Sorry, I'm going off
no,
topic.
no, no,
Just
you're perfectly fine.
meandering. Uh,
Well, it's a Shadowrun stream. What?
yeah, absolutely.
So,
So we'll
when did you first get into writing?
Um, been writing since probably 1980, 81. Simply because the D&D games have been going on for a few years at that point, and I've got to take my turn at running, so I've got to learn how to write to do that. And kind of went from there. Really blew up in 7th grade, where I went from an elementary school to a junior high and got introduced to The Hobbit for the first time, and just just whole worlds opened up, and so I started writing from there, but I didn't do it professionally for a very very long time, and all the points for, of all people, William Shatner for getting me into writing. um, because of a William Shatner album. Yes, him singing is what got me into writing. Go fig. Um,
What was he singing about that sparked that kind of fire?
it is an album he made with a gentleman named Ben Folds called Has Been, and the song of in question, which is the titular, that's a very tricky word. The song that the album is named for, haha, loophole, which is called Has Been, is him basically saying that, yeah, he's a has been, but that means that he was, and he could be again, as opposed to the haters out there who'd never actually done anything and calls them out for sitting on the couch and complaining about this and complaining about that, saying they could do better, but never actually stepping up and trying it. And I had been saying similar things for a long time. And I'm 39 years old, and there's a whole thing about if you haven't done something by 40, you're never actually going to do it. And I'm like, well, okay, Shatner, you've talked me into it. Uh, I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to see if I can do this for professionally. And amazingly, they liked my submission and gave me some work, did it. And then they're like, would you like to do more for us? And I was like, yes, I would. Can I? And 12 years later, I'm still here. So yay.
Must be doing
Um,
something right.
yeah, I don't understand it. But the whole you are your own harshest critic, I suppose. Although there are some, many people on the internet who are like, I'll take that challenge. But but again, William Shatner, if I ever get to meet him in person again, I will have to give him all the thanks in the world, because I would not be a writer without him and without Ben Folds. It is a very unusual trajectory to go in. And for anyone who's not heard it, go to YouTube, look up the song, get your giggle on, because it's fun, but it's also inspirational.
Get Your Giggle On? That's the name of the song?
No. It has been.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
Sorry.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
No, no.
It's all right.
Here,
For a moment
enjoy
there.
the song. Yeah, because it's going to be a little comedy in there. And sorry, my expressions are somewhat unusual on occasion. My apologies.
No, no, no. It's all right. I fade in and out of Southern. It confuses me just as much as it confuses other people.
Yeah, and I'm from Tennessee. I'm from, well, the place I'm from. I don't know if it really counts. It's Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. But I was 3 days old, thrown in a U-Haul, never been back. So we've been all over the place. So I got to move 27 times in 8 years, and
Good.
yeah. So and since I was a very precocious child, the rule quickly became my books were the very last thing packed up, and they're the first thing we would unpack whenever we moved into a new place, because mom had to keep me busy, and so Dr. Seuss and Richard Scarry are the friends I could take with me, and so anywhere I would go, they would be waiting for me, and that was huge, and that's where I fell in love with the written word as a whole, and I've carried that ever since. So the end goal in life is to do like children's books, and I would like to do comic books, but role playing stuff is number three, and I am thrilled to be here. So.
No, absolutely. Well, that kind of works into our next question here. And I know this kind of focuses in a little bit harder on number three, but
Mm-hmm.
what RPG systems and settings do you enjoy writing for the most? Because we know
Huh.
that you've worked on a good few.
Yeah, I've worked on three professionally, which would be Shadowrun, by far and away the majority, Legend of the Five Rings, and on Torg Eternity, which is the new version of Torg. And since I mentioned earlier that Torg, the original, was my true love, probably have enjoyed working on Torg Eternity the most, just because
It
that
was your
is
first.
like, yeah, exactly. This is the one I fell in love with, and all the people in there are amazing, and I have really enjoyed working with them and working for them. I hope that I can do more for them in the future. But if not, that's understandable. They're in Germany. I'm in the U.S. It's a whole thing. Um, but yeah, loved it. Interestingly, all three of the games I've mentioned do feature samurai in one form or another. So I guess I'm the samurai guy. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. Um, but yeah, I've done unofficial work on stuff, for years. I've done my own homebrews. I've posted things online for, again, champions. I've been there since the beginning. Um, but yeah, so much stuff. Ultimately, I'll work on anything. I'm a freelancer. Hey, if you want to hire me to do stuff on whatever game, just throw money at me. I'm more than happy to put it together.
You hear the
So
man. Just throw money at
yeah,
him.
yeah, it's not even much. We work cheap. We're freelancers. Have keyboard, will travel. It's
Well, that's fair. Well, since you've already kind of listed through what you have previously worked on,
hmm.
um, when did you, given Shadowrun stream, when did you first get involved with Catalyst?
They were the first thing I got to work on was Twilight Horizon, which was the finale for the initial Horizon plotline, and not involved in that plotline. But I got to do an appendix for Skillsofts, and kind of laying out the Horizon business method, where roughly 90% of all Horizon employees have skill wires. And the concept there is that they are looking for people that can work well with others and good communicators. And if you don't have the skills needed, no problem. You just pop them in, and you then are able to do the job. And so your ability to integrate with coworkers is rated higher than your innate abilities, because innate abilities can be replaced, but your integration cannot.
Mhm.
So it made them have a radically different corporate structure than anyone else. And moving team members from place to place is like, oh, we need more artists this week. Okay, grab the boys in legal, swap them into art programs, kick them over, let them do the thing. And then, oh, next week, oh, we're going to be selling a new product. Okay, half the artists pull their chips, slap in business chips, put them on the front line selling stuff. So you have this modular workforce. Um, and that's a horrifying thing, but it's also very useful. And I got to use 2XS technology, going back to a Nigel Finley novel, which is one of the better ones in the history of Shadowrun. So I was very happy to bring that forward. And yeah, it was very interesting. Now, I have a couple things in and around before then, but didn't really click.
Just kind of fell out of
I
touch.
well, kind of like before Catalyst, when it was still FanPro. Before FanPro, there was a gap where FASA was pretty much out and FanPro hadn't been designed, and they were working on Shadows Across Europe as like a fan project. Their first guy for Italy dropped out. Their second guy for Italy dropped out. I wound up volunteering to do Italy for the book, and then lost internet connection like a week into it and couldn't get internet back for about a month. And they'd gone ahead and replaced me and moved on, which is fine. So I would have been in the first Fan Pro thing made, but that was on technology, my
Mhm.
recurrent nemesis. And see also the lack of a camera today. um,
It's
but
all right. You just couldn't find it. It's okay.
I know, just technology lurking in a corner, chuckling, tickling its fingers, make him suffer.
Just try
But
to plug me in.
yeah, but yeah. So, but I've been in and around for there. I have the misfortune of having given Jason the worst proposal for a storyline ever, which was just ashamed of, and he doesn't remember, and I'm so happy for that. But believe me, it was absolutely wretched, and it's gone and buried, and no one else will ever see it.
I feel like
But
you're missing
since
a crucial word there, though. I feel like you're underselling yourself. The worst one yet.
oh, true, but this
There's
was
always room.
this was so bad. This is basically when you first get into like the freelancer pool, there's like this. You're like, oh my gosh, all the ideas I've ever had at once, I can get a chance to do them. Let me vomit them all into one thing at the same time, and just covered it up with, oh look, here's Jet Black, and here's vampires, and here's 17 different street gangs that haven't been mentioned in 15 years, but I was showing off my knowledge cred, and oh god, oh it was so bad. It was cringe, as the kids today would say. No, no, no. Uh, yeah, uh, yeah, no cap. There we go. We'll just throw that
Okay.
in there for
For
yeah, the
real, for real.
pain. No, yeah, yeah. It's what is it? 100.
No, no, no. You got it. You've got it. Well,
oh,
talking more about your writing,
yes.
how would you describe your writing style within the gaming sphere?
Um, two different areas. One, my methodology is pure chaos, and no one should ever write like I do. Um,
Okay.
I have two computers. One is the one I'm on right now. The other computer is a writing computer. It's not connected to the internet because if I've got like an active internet connection, I'm going to go on Wiki Safari, and who knows where you're going to wind up after 5 hours. It's too much of a distraction. Bad news. But I'm only able to go over there and work on the other computer for from like half an hour to 2 hours at a time most of the days. And so I'll work on like, oh, here's 500 words of this chapter. Here's 12 words of this chapter. Here's just a random idea I may come back to. And they're in this greater folder for whatever I'm working on. And then when it's time later on, I get all of these snippets of like 20 or 30 different subfiles and stitch them together into one Word document, and then got to go through and edit that. And that is a miserable existence. Don't do that.
That sounds like the
Um,
opposite of a rough draft.
oh yeah, yeah. It's It's absolute insanity. No one should do it, and only works because I am pure chaos. In terms of writing stuff, I don't know. I do love the shadow commentary. Shadowrun having that is amazing, and I wish more games had something similar because shadow talkers are just to die for.
Mhm.
And if Jason would let me, I would do an entire book of nothing but shadow talk and just them gossiping and talking about 101 different things and living their lives, and no one would buy it, but I would be happy. But I I've got knowledge going back to the founding fathers of Shadowrun, so I love bringing some of that stuff out every now and then. Like, this is from 1989. No one but me and Bull will know this one. So you've got to pull out some rusty old stuff, but you also have to not our rusty. Our rusty is cool. This is my bad rusty, using a different term. Um, the
With the property as old as it is, I
yeah.
don't think that Rusty is. I don't think that Rusty is ever going to be a bad thing, so long as you don't work it out too often. That's the only issue that I've ever seen with any property that
Hmm.
pulls out things from early days. It's whenever they try pulling it out far too often. We understand it's a callback, but move
Yeah.
on to a different callback, or
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to introduce little things. Like, I brought up the missing vice president of the cast at one point and his swamp dwelling ways, where he just comes running out one day wearing like a tinfoil hat and madness is coming, and then scatters back off into the thing. Is anyone ever going to follow that plot line? Probably not. But it's been sitting there for 30 years untouched. I'll throw it into a book for a couple sentences and see what happens. So occasionally these things come up. In Forbidden Arcana, there is a little miniature story. It's about 3,000 words, with Elijah interacting with the bridge that was broken years ago between, like, the horror realms. Excuse me, we don't use those terms anymore. The horrific realms of sorry, Jason. Uh, but between the deep realms and the astral area, and interacting with things, and there's a little brief thing with Harlequin in there. um, that was an interesting thing because basically a couple people's work had come up short, and we didn't have anything to plug those pages with. And I'm like, hey, Jason, I haven't done fiction in a while. Want me to just put something in there? And he's like, sure. Come up with something cool. I'm like, I'll have it to you tomorrow. Wrote that basically overnight, sent it to him. I'm like, no one will even read this. It'll be fine. And come back once it's published. And wow. Okay. Small tangent. Imposter syndrome is a terrible thing. And I'm very
Mhm.
jealous for the younger generation because in my day, because I'm Gen X and crumbly. Things like, oh, you have some sort of mental health issue. Oh, you don't talk about it. You certainly don't get help for it, or deal with it. So you just dwell with it for the rest of your life. That's just how we were, and it's a horrible thing. And the newer kids are like, oh, I've got a problem. I'm going to go to the doctor and I'm going to get it looked at, and I'll talk to all of my friends about it, and they'll share their stories, and we'll help each other get through it. That is such a better way to live. Please do that more, children. Thank you. But
Spreading the good
for
word.
us, yeah, but for us, we didn't have that. And so all these years, I've been here going, well, they're just giving me work because they like me. I know, they feel pity for me on some level. And I know my writing is terrible, but they're being so kind and just like, no, just give him a little more work. We'll just throw in some words. We'll just not even worry about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm used to the whole imposter syndrome, lack of confidence. It's terrible stuff. And that story didn't have my name attached to it. And so I went to my day job, and when it dropped, I was at work.
Mhm.
And the other writers were discussing in a different area, and they're like, hey, this story, I didn't see it in there before. Wow, this is really cool. And they was like, what story is it? And they go, oh, this on page blah. And so more of my fellow writers look at it and they're going, oh, dude, this is awesome. I really love this. Who wrote this? and it goes back and forth a few times, and they think it was a different writer because of a line where Elijah is told to focus on his shoes. Basically, what shoes are you wearing? Because it's something that's so mundane and normal that it kind of brings your brain back from this high end, lost in the sauce thing to just go shoes and looking at your feet and kind of doing this thing. And apparently, looking at your shoes was a term that one of the other writers used in other stuff, and it was like a trademark almost.
Oh.
Didn't know that. And so they all assumed that they had written it. And so this goes on for like 8 hours while I'm at work. And I come back home and I have page after page of these people talking and singing the praises of this one story and saying how awesome it is, and them not knowing it was me. And so my mental health issue of, oh, they're just saying nice things because of who you are, not because of what you did, runs headlong into they don't know you did this and they're saying good things about it. And oh, that was painful. That cognitive dissonance that popped up between they're legitimately praising something I did, but they don't know it was me, so they're not being nice. But I'm terrible at my job. They only say it because, but fizzle fazzle.
But there's
So
also something so superhero about that to
oh,
me.
it was so yeah, it was the one moment of just like pure, I don't even want to say joy, of like accomplishment of this kind of goodness, what would be the word? Not certification, acknowledgement, I don't know.
Validation?
Validation, there you go. It was this moment of validation where I'm like, oh my god, maybe I do have the ability to do this. Maybe I really am earning some of this. Now, of course, since then that wore off, and now I'm just like, oh, they're just throwing me, breadcrumbs again. It's so nice of them to, let an old man, think he's being useful again. So the doubt comes back. All the mental health is just rampaging. But the but it was nice for a moment, and I still have that to go back to. So that's probably the proudest moment of my writing career so far. Um, yeah, because we've won a few awards. I've been in like a couple of the Any Award winners because of the
Oh.
work with the other team members. Um, yeah, I mean technically there's a gold one, but that was the 20th anniversary edition of fourth edition.
Mhm.
And my contribution to that is like shadow talk in like 5 pages, and that's it. So I'm like, technically I want a gold any, but it's
You were
me. Yeah,
there. You were there.
it's those 22 words that I added that pushed it over the top. It's completely my job, guys. You're welcome.
90% of a talent is being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So so that's not on my resume by any means, but technically, um, technically correct is the best form of correct. We all know that. Thank you, Futurama. Um, oh, and incidentally, the references are in all of the work. So just to find them, there is obscure stuff in there in like everything I put together because it's fun. Jason catches most of it, but he can't catch it all. So uh, so when he catches it, he pulls it out, but I get some of it past him. So
Oh no.
it's our little game. Uh, it's why he edits my stuff personally instead of letting other people do it. But oh, my life.
It's okay. I think he's getting promoted. So
Yeah, he is. Now it's RJ's burden to carry. So we'll see how he
maybe you
does
can
on
slip
the.
it past him a little bit more.
We'll see. I'm working on my first project for him currently, so we'll see how many of them he catches. Um, I will say that I put one right in the front and center, and he's like, "Oh, I love that. We're going to put that in there, and in fact, I'm going to make art of that thing." And I'm like, "Oh, yes, the game begins." So we'll see. Um, when it drops, I'll let you know, and you can point it out and enjoy the show with me. So
No, that sounds fantastic. Oh, also we're only sitting at about 5 minutes left. I honestly
oh
thought that we
no,
would have more.
oh
Um,
goodness, I'm babbly. Sorry,
no, no, no,
that
no,
it
no, no.
cut
I
me off.
love it. I love it so much. Well, here in the last 5 minutes, or so. We can give and take a little. Um, what are some of your favorite experiences when teaching new players about the games that you've worked on? And I'm most curious to hear about Shadowrun personally, just because that's the one that I've learned most recently, just playing along on the stream.
It's tricky. Characterization has been fun. Teaching new players that, yeah, when you're in the Seattle Park, or well, Seattle Zoo, and in the children's section in particular, with children looking at the monkey bar ice cream, which is delicious, sherbet flavored. Um, do not have your rigger roll the heavily armed, treaded drone out of the back and drive towards some gangers with machine guns ready to go. It's a very public area. They're looking for discretion in the Shadowrunners they hire. You're going to. Yeah. This is the adventure that I ran for the other writers for when we were creating fifth edition and getting the rules right, and they had to go kidnap a pop star. And I've used that scenario to teach new players this one because it was my tryout thing and I had it ready. And yeah, the first time that a player decided just no, let's roll out the Ed 9000 and just stomp through the. It's like no, children, no. We're going to learn that this is not. It's a different game. You got to be a little sneakier. So that's one of my favorite moments.
Just that everybody is watching you. Please stop moment.
Yeah, because there's all the punk and radicalism and take it to the man and steal money and blah blah blah. But occasionally Shadowrun just goes like, nah, you're gonna have a granny on the hood of her car during rush hour traffic with a rocket launcher, just blasting people and helicopters going. Well, today's body count of rush hour was 47. It's a new record. Back to you, Bob. So there's different level. There's no wrong way to play Shadowrun, and so if you want that type of game, awesome. If you want an all sneaky professional, we don't ever goof around, that's fine. If you want a starship full of furries flying from one planet of the solar system to another, hey, it's your game, your table, you have fun, and we will applaud every minute of it. No one is ever going to show up to your house and be like, you're doing it wrong. We don't do that. We want to have fun. We want you to take the game and enjoy yourself. So please make Shadowrun your own. Do the style of game you want, and know that we support you regardless.
As a person who can hardly remember exactly how to do my roles, I dearly appreciate that. Well, as for our last main question, how do you and I know that you've talked a lot about rules before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now you've also been deep into writing the rules of these games, correct? Not just stories, or has
Here
it
and there,
primarily
yeah.
been story? Okay.
The role of the Chrome Flesh, I wrote the entirety of the cybernetics and the Bioware section, so 40,000 words of tech. So yeah, I do rules too. It's boy,
Okay,
that was a
all
lot of
right.
typing, but yeah.
No. I completely understand. It was a lot of reading, and I know it's easier on my end, so I can only imagine how exhausted you were. Um,
Yeah.
well, how do you ensure consistency in rules, terminology, and language throughout a game system or source book? Because I know that, especially for you, I was pretty sure I was right on that. You doing a section. Um, how do you ensure the consistency? Is it just rereading the entire thing, keeping in close contact with the rest of the writers?
Well, thank goodness for modern technology. Despite my high tech Luddite reputation, I do appreciate it on occasion. Um, Being able to stay in contact with the other writers and compare notes and be like, hey, here's a draft. What have I messed up? Huge help. Before that, back in my day, everything was in my head, and I had to memorize every rule from 5 editions and remember which rule was appropriate for that edition and type it up and then recheck and have my donkulous library, once again, we're using the word, that I would go through and parse through different pages and look at different things. Go, oh wait, I've got this wrong. Change that. It is much easier having several brains involved than just my damaged, randomly sparking one, and I am very thankful for it. More eyes is more good. So,
More hands, less work.
well, no,
Usually.
they catch things and then I have to go and change it, so it's more work. But it's work that comes out properly, so it's more quality. There we go. More eyes, more quality. So,
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well,
yeah.
we're getting down to the very end of it. So, do you have anything else coming down the pipeline? You already referenced your books. Would you like to plug those one more time?
Next one coming out that's official is Falling Point. I got to do a couple things in there, and I hope that people will enjoy them. Um, they're working on several other ones right now, including it's been announced Tarnished Shield, the new police book, because Lone Star was released in 1990, so it's probably about due for a new one. 34 years at this point, so it probably should get around to that again. Um, and the fact that our new line editor, RJ Thomas, who took over for Jason just in the Shadowrun thing, this will be his first book, and of course, he was a deputy, law enforcement officer, so he kind of knows his stuff. So yeah, gotta up my game a little bit to improve the boss, or impress the boss, not improve. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna sit here and implant new things in his head, but well, not literally,
Not
but
canonically,
yeah,
at least.
yeah, exactly. I'm not doing surgery, but I may be giving him ideas. Um, but yeah, so that will be coming up eventually. I'm not sure when it's going to be published, but in the near future, well, not near future, but in the future, we'll see. From beyond that, there's always stuff running around. There's always promoting what's being published, working on the next thing, and then working hard to get a contract to get something else. You've got to do all three at the same time as a freelancer. So
Well aware.
so
Well aware.
yeah. So yeah. So but I'm always up for hire. So if anyone has ideas of like, hey, you want to come work on my game and do something with your bizarre brain? I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever you got, I'll do it for $1.50. Whee! So yeah. Yeah, you never know what's out there. So and you can always contact me, and we'll have a discussion.
After
Yeah.
that, then he promises to go out and get a smartphone.
Oh man, don't. Oh, I'm Gen X. Come on, have
Oh,
mercy.
I'm
I do
messing
have to
with
get
you.
one, but it's okay. I'll have to learn the apps, as the kids say. But
Well, Thomas,
oh
it was great.
yeah.
It was great speaking with you. Thank you
Oh,
for
it's been a
all of your
blast.
energy.
Oh,
And
it's my pleasure.
of course.
And again, this is the sad thing is there's no camera. 80% of what I'm doing is just hands gesticulating wildly, and you don't get to see any of this.
It's okay.
And when you do, you'd be like, it's even worse.
I think
So
I've accidentally been doing more than what I normally do just because of the lack of your side, just to, even it out.
thank you. Entertain the crowd for me while I'm being, obnoxious. So very nice. I'll pick up juggling. I'll entertain them next time for you.
Got it. Just show off all of your camera skills.
Yeah, you never know. I'd put that money to clown college. It needs to pay dividends. That's what we got.
Well, all right. Thomas, thank you for all of your energy and everything that you do for the gaming community. And
it's my pleasure, bro.
Of course. And thank you, Rem PCs. We will be right back. Everybody, please don't forget that we have a wonderful giveaway of a signed Shadowrun 5e core rulebook. Thank you to Thomas for donating such a wonderful prize. Type RemPC in the chat for your free entry to win, and don't forget bonus entries. All funds help us pay our cast and crew and keep producing content. Thank you for joining. Now on to the episode of Emerald Glitch. Destiny is calling from an 800 number. See you there, RemPCs.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
92 times.
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
Maybe some more warning on it. Anyways, hey there.
That's
what?
all you get.
That's all I get?
Because that's all I get.
That's how you... What comes around goes around? Reminds me of the playgrounds as a child, the giant steel wheel that you'd get on and spin at high velocities. And, try not to die or get flung off. So... Hey there, Gen Con TV watchers. I'm going to move this over here so my neck's not getting broken. Hey there, Gen Con TV watchers. Welcome to another amazing episode of Shadowrun Emerald Glitch. I'm your host, Max from Original Box Set, and we have an exciting show for you tonight. It's January 18th, and hey, Amber, what do we have to give away tonight? Oh yeah. Not here tonight. I guess I'll do it tonight. Drop a hashtag RemPC in the chat to enter a chance to win your own genetic duplicate of 6LL3, the most famously known sheep to be cloned. That's right, our gals and guys over Horizon Institute in Scotland have succeeded in creating multiple copies of that ever so famous clone sheep from the 20th century, Dolly. That's...
Everybody, don't forget to drop a Rem PC in the chat for one entry to win a PIP system. Oh, sorry, not that. The Shadowrun 5e core rulebook, signed by our guest tonight. The winners will be announced at the end of the episode, and you'll be reached out to via Twitch Whispers. Now, you can get 7 additional entries if you subscribe to Gen Con TV today. And don't forget, for every 100 bits that you donate, you get another entry. Not only that, you can help us players when you donate. For 100 bits, you can give us a NERP to use. That's an additional 3 dice that we can add to a roll. For 300 bits, you can give a player 1 edge, and 500 bits, that gives a player 4 edge. Oh, may have misread that, but you get all the numbers. And if you want to bat for the game runner, I don't even know I'm reading this part, you can even choose to give those NERPs and edges to max. And, back to the show.
Yet I could have sworn we were giving away a sheep, a genetically cloned sheep. Like, that's what's in my notes.
Oh, no. Those notes are about a month off, I think. I think that's what we have planned for the.
Oh, that's coming up. Right.
Exactly.
All right, mum's the word. None of y'all heard it. We don't have any sheep for you. Anyways. Breaking and entering is only a problem if the person's house you're breaking and entering into actually knows you're there. So the most important part about doing a B&E is to not be seen. Sometimes not being seen means not just hiding in the shadows, but hiding in plain sight. So our players are going to be doing the players aren't going to be doing anything but talking, but the characters are going to be doing some legwork tonight. And they're going to be going into someone's house that probably, if she finds out they're around, she's not going to like that. Oh, you guys all remember Miss Vought. This is where she's from. This is her house. Anyways, what's the group doing tonight?
Wait a minute. Who is this person that we're supposed to... Do I know this person?
Your character is familiar with the name Vought. She is part of a tech solutions company. She has a variety of other smaller bits and pieces that she does. She's a philanthropist. And recently, she was in the news because a train of hers was stolen and then crashed into one of the derelict fabrication plants that were underneath Seattle that were constructed specifically to help put the space bridge together. The Ares Corporation was contacted, and they brought in one of their specialized defense drones, we could call it, to stop the train because apparently it was hijacked by terrorists or criminals. Anyways, she made the news because it was her train and she was all upset and a bunch of other stuff. What? No? Just
propaganda.
Yeah.
So, you guys have been doing a lot of like running lately, and a lot of things have come to fruition. And now we are at a junction where our Cole has finished the necessary work visas. I hadn't asked the last time, and I don't know if I've got it on my note card about what you were setting the work visas up for. But I think since we are at this junction, it's a good time to ask that question. The work visa that you got from Nova was a template that was issued by the government or the city council, basically the ruling body of corporations, for the Emerald City, the giant city above us, Seattle. And it was a template, so it wasn't like a bunch of blanks that you fill in. It was a bunch of options that you can select and things you had to hack. And you had got through with all those dice rolls, if I may remember correctly, right? No? Yes? You did all the dice rolls?
Believe so.
That sounds like a no.
I feel like you started but didn't finish. That's what I remember.
You know, I hear that all too often, Christian. So sorry.
That was good.
So I think yeah, no, I did self-burn. Yes, in the wise words of Robert, yes. And I successfully did each and every one of them.
And I do think we talked about wanting to be able to specifically work on our work was sending us directly to the space elevator, right?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. You were saying, but you have this option to set this up to allow yourself to do a variety of things. I leave that to you guys to kind of fill in those details, either now or later. I don't care when you do this, because he has access to these programs because he's finished all his dice rolls, and everything's open, so he can just go in and change things as he needs them because it's all fixed and ready to rock and roll.
Great. Well, I mean, I think it'd probably be best if we got ourselves close to location at the very least. Better yet, if these visas get us there, I don't know if we have to figure out if there's another special clearance to get us onto the elevator itself.
As far as the clearance that I absolutely did rolls for,
yeah,
that is just to get us on site. Or is that to go on the space elevator? Did we? I don't recall establishing that.
I just asked you that question.
Oh, okay.
That was the question I asked you. I said, where did you want it to be able to get you? And I said, you can decide that now, or you can decide that later. I mean, I just assumed that the ability to change these visas when you need to is just you pulling out your deck and doing some hacking and changing them. It's just a program that you've busted wide open.
Convoy, we're good to ride. We should have everything in place for us to go ahead and start heading up.
Yeah, sure. Everything's good to go. The hacker has done their job. Excuse me, I'm very close to my microphone. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh my, Warthog has asked Christian to take his shirt off.
Easy.
Woo, I'm trying to be. Let me drink some water and cool down. All right. So the Sammys, by the way, who aren't here tonight, have made a lot of effort to pre-look for location and entries, and I think Convoy did as well. But you have someone who accesses the Emerald city on a constant basis, so you've got those benefits as well. It is public knowledge that there is a highway, two highways that drive up to the Emerald City. One is for pretty much transport of goods, materials, cargo goes up that way. The other way is for people. So you got both of those have what is it called when you show up at the airport and you got to go through customs? Both of them have a customs entrance for those two locations. The actual supports all have some form of inner mechanisms and working devices that allow people to transcend up and down, like elevators and stairwells and stuff like that, fire emergency exits. If your character has ever been around the base of those struts, you would have seen fire exits, one-way doors, basically, so you can only go out them, not into them. And then they probably have fences around them and stuff like that. So, I mean, you could do some legwork and go looking there. And finally, there is a landing port, 2 landing ports, one for transport helicopters, fly in and out, helipads. And the last one is for those large aerial transports, the large hover transports that you guys stole a couple of shows back.
Oh, man, I wish that thing wasn't in the lake.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
The cargo got dumped into the lake.
Right.
It didn't get dumped into the... Yeah.
Right.
Did that get taken over to our storage unit as well?
What, the transport?
The transport we just left, right?
No, the transport you flew would park somewhere so somebody else could find it and not find it near your stuff.
Yeah.
Did we leave it outside of that guy's house where we picked up the dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like chilling in some subdivision out
exactly.
there.
a 4 semi-truck wide, trailer truck wide, hovering platform just parked there outside in the suburbia.
Well, that's good to know that that got those. That's not a bad idea getting in. I mean, since we're going to have a lot of cargo, and we know those things aren't exactly difficult to crack, right? So.
Yeah. No. Randy was able to get one for you guys.
But I know we need to work a couple things out. Now, I've been thinking specifically about how we're gonna get off of that place as soon as the fireworks go off. And I'm thinking that we got 2 options. We can't wait for it. We can't rely on an elevator, and we certainly ain't taking the stairs. So we either need to fly, which means we need to steal a vehicle or hire someone who's got one. Or we need to, since we've got 2 highways going down, we can do that, though. I don't love the idea of being limited to only 2 forms of exit. Two exit paths, anyway. Or, I think this is probably an emergency option. I got a catalog the other day, an AR pop-up catalog for some new jumping drones, and I got these drones that fit on like a backpack. We can just parachute down.
Oh.
Whoa.
But where
and you
does
don't have to train. You won't have to train because the drones will have the programming to get us down.
But where does that leave us at getting back out?
Well, that's why we just jump off.
Jump off the edge of Emerald City.
Like emergency, right? That's why it's an emergency, right? Like I'd prefer other options.
You could bookmark that for anyways later.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to go base jumping.
Yeah.
Did you mean space jumping? Because that feels like a different monster.
Well, I'm just here's the thing. Even if we get a vehicle that can fly, like if we've got a dragon in the air. Well, I mean, I mean that dragon would have to be pretty desperate to show themselves above Seattle, but
yeah, that's that's something common knowledge dragons really don't. They will get out, they'll fly around, they'll do stuff, but especially if they're starting to wreck shop, they will draw people's attention. 50 years ago, that was something where people were like, it's a dragon out, it's scary. Nowadays, it's like, a dragon's out causing problems, we need to be on point, because technology has advanced, magic has advanced enough that a dragon can pose a serious problem, but the rest of us can pose a serious problem to a dragon. They are killable. And it has been found out. So, you are correct.
I was gonna say, is it possible for me, since I've lived there my whole life, that I would know of any like other secret ways that they might not have been able to case from the outside for us to get out more safely? Like, what would I recommend? I don't know. I'm trying to think about the entrances that I guess I'm just hoping for a secret door. Is there a secret door? Is there a secret door somewhere? Can I?
Secret tunnel.
Literally.
Secret tunnel.
So there are 5 locations that go from Emerald City down to the ground. The 4 struts, and then a main conduit tower. And that main conduit tower most likely has access into it that goes all the way to the ground. The bottom of that tower is also surrounded and protected and stuff, but for the most part, it has to. There's also the Yellow Line train enters and exits from 2 sides. I didn't mention the Yellow Line train because, like, it's a train. It is a monorail, so technically there's that monorail, and these guys are no strangers to running down monorails. So, I mean, if you don't want to go jumping off the city itself, you could probably run down a monorail.
I don't know, man. I feel like the train bit's been done. They might be looking out for that one again.
Not only has that been done, I'm speaking as our Cole here. Without either of our street Sams, I don't have a shot. I'm dying.
Listen, I'm basically a street Sam at this point, and this is the part where I demonstrate one of the moves that Steel Tiger has been teaching me with my sword.
Please, not the real one.
I'm gonna roll it. What?
Do it, yeah.
No, I'm not trying to hit you. I just want to look cool. I just want to look cool. That's all. Wait.
So you're doing this to be flashy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I just needed you to establish that.
Yeah, no, I just want to look really impressive. But here's the thing. I think the problem is that wait, is it close combat for the swords? Or is it something else? I feel like I might actually not have this skill yet, and that's why I'm training with Steel Tiger.
I think it's close combat.
Is it?
It is close combat.
I love that. Thank you for knowing better than me. Okay, and I'm gonna roll it with my agility.
Mm-hmm.
Great, go.
Make it fast. Scare me a little.
One success.
It's not very impressive. It's still a little heavy. My wrists are kind of weak still. I can't but I do it with heart.
Yeah, and not only she does it with heart, but the powerful magical blade, when it crashes into the concrete or the countertop, it definitely sends sparks, slices through things like a hot butter through knife. And when she kind of twists it around, acting like Conan swinging around the head, she cleaves off a low-hanging light fixture. Without question, it crashes to the ground. Bam!
I'll pay for that.
Damage everywhere.
Wherever we are.
A coffee shop. I don't know.
No. I mean, I imagine we're at my garage and Steel Tiger's not around. He's unavailable at the moment.
I would absolutely second that. I don't think that Arcole is socially adept enough to want to hang out at a coffee shop. It's got to be pseudo private, or at least where I know the owner, where they can just kick him out.
Yeah, we can hang out in my garage if no one's opposed.
Well, that means that your light just went down.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. At this point, I'm used. At this point, Convoy's absolutely used to it. Like all his stuff gets wrecked. That is the plight of the rigger.
Yep.
All right. Calm down. Well, let me get. Hold on. I totally lost the voice. 1 second.
No, you're right. Our Cole, after seeing this, thank goodness you did not get 0 hits. I was afraid for my life. After seeing even this 1 hit display worth of swordplay is just don't touch me with that. I saw what it did to Convoy.
Oh man. Yeah, you keep that time knife shackled by your hip. I'm not.
Time knife.
I like it. Oh my god. Okay, jeez. I was just practicing.
Well, if you want to practice, I can clear some stuff away. There's enough room here.
Yeah.
But also, I reckon that maybe Steel Tiger should be around for future sessions.
Yeah, right. Teachers training sessions. So while making an effort to deal with the antics and talk about what happens next, we're gonna have a little kind of like action take place as the light crashed and everything else happened. Is like, oh, okay, we can move some stuff. One of the standing tool sets of yours, although we're talking, her character was swinging maybe. Technocide was probably a good meter or 2 away from the sword. And the blade never even went in that direction, but one of the wheels on your rolling tool chest cockeyes, crinks to one side, and the whole thing kind of totters, falls over, and just careens into the ground. Drawers smashing open and tools going in all directions.
Wait, but I didn't do that. That was not me. You saw me. It was so far away.
No, I know I know that wasn't you. It just, I don't know. Have y'all had troubles recently? I'm missing all my 11 millimeters.
Yeah, 10s.
I'm missing all my 10 millimeters.
When you walk over to the tool chest, it only has 3 of its 4 wheelbases.
Wait a minute.
You're talking about, you know what I'm talking about, the little spinner wheels that go on the bottom of a rolling tool chest. 3 are there.
I reckon we got some Fey trouble.
Again, no, I didn't deal with anything missing, but I do have a couple things broken. Some things that I still need to get replaced, like my goggles and my flashlight, and
yeah, they took one of my earbuds.
Oh, that's classic. Wait a minute. At this point, I'm gonna go into the astral and try to perceive, because it just happened. Is there one still around?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there are a number of little sprites or spirits, and they're currently walking away with some of the smaller accoutrements of his toolbox right now. 2 of them are carrying a wrench across the room. Yes, you can see them.
I say to them, I would say, up. I see you, little guys. You put those tools down right now.
Okay, well, they're in the astral. They can definitely hear you, and they will take their tiny little hands, these imp-like creatures, stick their thumbs up to their nose, and then blow very hard with their tongue before they start hauling butt. Convoy, one of your open and close-end wrenches is shooting across the room as if drawn by an unknown magnetic power.
I mean, I immediately send all my drones on alert, I'll grab. What I'll do is I'll throw my tool belt off, and I'll throw it at the wrench, like in front of it, if I can. Yeah. And then my tool belt will like jump up on its little hands and try to grab it back.
Okay. So you're throwing your drone, telling it to grapple, and you're not jumping in or anything. You're just going to let it do its thing. That would be a piloting. Plus, it's
I do have the close combat.
Do it. Piloting plus close combat
on my RCC.
Yeah, do it.
I'm just gonna I don't have the tool belt in here because it's a tool belt, right? But it does have arms, so I'm just gonna use clear sight on Mama Bear. It'll be the same roll.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, it would be so helpful to have a tool belt with arms.
Oof.
It's a tool belt that turns into a robot, a drone.
Yeah, but if you could also use the arms while you were working, like an extra set of arms. Sorry, anyway.
That was an awful roll, and I have a...
That's fine. You succeed in snatching the tool belt, changes as it needs to, arms come out, grab a hold of it, spin across the ground, and you can see what looks like one of your 20 millimeter sockets are rolling peculiar in a different direction, but your action has been consumed. So the only person left to do anything would be Arcole. But he doesn't see it because he's not paying attention.
No. I have to
is.
unmute myself in OBS, Max. It's the plight. It's the plight of the double decker. I'm lunging immediately. Because I don't have anything in my arsenal to help out with Fey-like creatures. I'm just lunging for it because I know that these are irreplaceable, and by that I mean relatively replaceable, but still very valuable to a rigger.
It's the point of the action. All right, close combat roll.
I
Do you have close combat?
I definitely don't have that anywhere.
Default on your agility. All right.
Tight.
In your attempts to dive bomb into the runaway socket, you careen and you'll take we'll say 1 stun as you slam into a shelf. It wasn't a critical glitch, was it?
No.
No. So it's just you careen, you take a stun, you careen into a shelf. Oh.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Can I also speak during this time? Is it too quick of a time?
Yeah.
Or can
Okay.
Okay. Techno Siren. So I have the ability to make people be able to harm or hinder icons. Do you have the same thing for Fae?
They are so lucky that I am incompetent when it comes to working with spirits. I suggest that we leave out little offerings for them, little plates of like milk and honey and like cookies and things like that. And if you're just like really nice to them for a little while, they might bring your things back.
Uh,
Are we hoping that they're Christmas fairies?
Trick, man. Why don't we? Can we? Nah. Look, can we? There's got to be some barrier spell or something that we can like keep things out.
That's what I was just looking for. Like, I don't know if the mana barrier would keep them out, though.
You got to put it onto the astral. Then they have to come into the real world, which makes them visible and makes it hard for them to hide. So if you put it on the astral, they have to come into the real world, and then Convoy or his drones will see them, and then they can't pilfer.
Yeah, man.
Easily.
I can just if that's how long does that last though?
I gotta look it up. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head.
Because that'd be pretty valuable. Because I could just put up a turret somewhere. That'll stop them real quick, right?
Yeah. Turrets will you'll get alerts all the time as from your comm. Beep, 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 beep. What was that? Oh, just another Fae getting shot at my place for being a breaking and entering little bugger. Again. The skill of being part of a B&E is not being detected by the person whose house you're breaking into.
Unless we can bring back that little Sprat fella that showed up in my truck. That'd be great. Maybe he could talk to him. He could be a little guardian for my place. That'd be nice.
Gosh. Hang on, I'm so sorry. I'm not good at navigating this book right now. I think I probably need to have a focus or something to make it permanent. But that is within my house. Hello, I can read. That is a thing that I do know how to do. And why can't I find magic on this table? There you are.
If it's in the PDF, you should be able to just do a...
Oh, I know. I'm just like, my brain is not.
Oh, no. All right. I'll take a hot minute to do it with you.
On the struggle button. Oh, no, I'm here. I found it.
Yes!
I finally... Well, I found the spells. We're
getting there.
We're getting there.
It's all right. It's all right. Convoy, I've already smashed directly into this other toolbox. I might be down for the count for right now.
You know, y'all, I'd just appreciate it if you'd all just take a seat over there, and I'll point over, and instead of like a couch or places to sit, it's actually just like recovered seats from vehicles. So,
oh, that's awesome.
So like you can sit and recline. They're kind of like couches and stuff, but they are, very specifically all torn out of different vehicles of varying sizes.
A circle of protection is a small astral and physical barrier. That's an option, and that's a ritual, but I don't think rituals was something
I have circle of that actually is a ritual that I have, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there we go. But okay, let's that's
also,
an option.
Mana, just a question though to clarify this for myself, because I found mana barrier's duration is sustained. So that means that it just stays up until I drop it. But does that cost me anything?
That's your one sustained spell, and unless
right. So it's like okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Rituals. Let's see. Circle protection is an anchored ritual. All anchored rituals must be placed on a physical object, symbol, or mystical significance that serves the ritual's focal point. They're like a rock, a doorway. Then there's some inscriptions, and during the duration of the ritual's effect, or the ritual collapses, so on and so forth. That's not important. No one worries about things collapsing. The circle of protection is in the astral, as well as physical barrier. Oh, that's kind of cool. And let's see what it says. It forms around the anchor. And then it lasts for a number of hours equal to the net hits from the ceiling step. Ooh. So that would be like a number of hours. Yeah. So you got your option is use your sustaining to keep them out, or do this ritual and have it last for a period of time. And you get really good roll, you'll get really good results.
I mean, even if you do it for a few hours, that might be nice. It might be enough to like scare him away. I can keep Sergeant active on stun rounds.
I mean, we could try it. You gonna do a ritual with me?
I don't know what that means, but
don't worry, I'll walk you through it. It's better if there's more people, right? Because actually,
that is correct.
It says the threshold here is 6, so I don't think we have enough people right now. Don't we have to have 6 people?
The threshold would be the maximum, right? Or the maximum potency that could
hang on.
Oh, so the first thing is to pick your ritual. Done. Second, choose a leader. Done. And then set up the found rituals must be performed in a magical lodge. So you got to go to a
one in my apartment.
So you'd have to go there, and then you start it, and so you're going to basically be enchanting this stone or whatever it is, like an 11 millimeter. And the leader must expend reagents specified for the ritual. The leader must expend more reagents to reduce the drain when sealing. And for every dram of pure reagents spent after the initial offering, the drain value is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 2. What does the threshold do? Let's see, it says during the steps performed. To the audience who's watching, this is my first stab at this, by the way. Here we go.
First time playing this game at all.
The final step for any ritual is sealing it, which is completes the ritual. The leader makes a sorcery plus magic test, and the threshold determined by the ritual. Other participants may join in a team work test to boost the leader's dice pool. This ritual description explains how the net hits from sealing step are used. After the spell goes off, each participant must deal with the drain equal to the number of hits on the threshold times 2, so on and so forth. Cool. So you guys would assist with your sorcery magic, which you guys have neither of those, so you can't actually provide any dice benefits.
But it would be fun.
Why don't I'll stand in the corner and burn some sage. Is that?
There you go.
That's part of it, actually.
So yes, you would make a magic plus sorcery roll, and your goal is to get 6 successes because that's the threshold.
Okay, so how am I doing? I think I could I get to roll 11 dice plus 2 because of my sword.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to roll 13. I have to roll far better than I did with the sword by itself earlier. So somebody tell Discord or tell Roll20 to be on my side, but we could try this. We could try this, but I'm only trying it if you both come and do this ritual with me.
I will come do this ritual with you. Also, we got some bits.
Woo!
Yeah, for the ritual. Yeah.
We're gonna cheer. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right, and it says here if the participants leave the foundation, which we're not going to do that. If the leader is incapacitated or killed before it's sealed, it fails, da-da-da. None of that stuff we're worried about. No one's going to kill you in your own apartment.
Right? Okay, but the problem is we do now have to get them into Emerald City, but then that can be the first thing that we do.
Yep. There we go. So in the meantime, you could put a mana barrier up here and leave it, and then just keep it sustained until you come back with this token. You know, this however you want to do it. But right now, your workshop has an infestation of Fae. And you cannot just put down some Raycon traps and catch these little buggers.
Now, Techno Siren, can you maybe hop on down and roll under Mama Bear and see if they got like a nest in there or something?
Oh, I don't have to do that to see that. I can just go into the astral.
All right, I just want to make sure because I reckon they carried him in on Mama Bear. That's how they got here, right?
Yep.
Oh wait.
In the future, is there like a face spray that I can just like maybe a? Did they sell that? I start and I pull up I look at my comm and start searching the Matrix for like
just get a
canister.
We need to market that immediately. We already have alchemy soaps, face spray.
Put a little soy cookie on the plate.
So
get a little. I'm just saying.
Well, that I think they like shiny things, so I'd have to give them like.
Well, they're stealing.
They also like sweet things, like sweet things and shiny things and beautiful things.
TS is the expert.
I think though, so if it's gonna take a little while, although the problem here is I might have to use some of my sustained spells for work. Like I am a, so like I could hold it for a little while. And I could do that.
That might be long enough to like maybe if they show up and I catch them, then it might scare them away. But if our little vacay to those railroad tracks tell us anything, is that they'll just keep coming back. Doesn't matter how many times we put them down; they just got right back up and headed back towards us.
That's why I'm saying I think you gotta befriend them instead. But that being said, I can do that. Can we? I mean, I imagine it's probably the weekend if we're just like hanging out, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
So
you don't have to be back to work till Monday.
Yeah. Hold on. Like I can at least hold it for the weekend.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and cast it?
I have an idea. Hold on. And I will. I'll find like a plate, and I'm sure I've got some like steel pieces laying around, like random bits.
Sure.
I'll take it to the grinder. I'll make it really shiny.
Ooh.
I'll put it on the plate, and I'm gonna write on a piece of paper and put it underneath of it, so I like cut it so you can't see it unless you lift the piece of metal from the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath, it's gonna say, "By taking this, you agree to not steal anything else.
Okay.
Take anything else in a mile radius or in a kilometer radius."
Sure. You're making yourself a contract.
I'm making myself.
Great. That's smart.
Okay. Arco, do you want to jump in here at any point in time to to assist them, or are you just going to watch the fireworks?
No, Arcole is terrified of the entire ritual and all of the Fae. He's still scarred from thinking about that much dirt.
Okay. And where do we put this dish of ground down steel?
I'll put it in a very prominent place, right?
Sure.
Maybe I'll take some old welding bits, shine them up, make a little trail of them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're trying to convince them to take the trap, the contracted piece of metal that, So this is a con.
Okay, all right, I'll take it, sure. I'm not great at it, but I am not unskilled.
All right. Okay. And you do so. Do you want to go ahead and get the mana spell put down so you can get these barriers up and start hedging these guys?
Can we tell from that was not success? Was that successful?
Nothing's happened. Right after setting it down, nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a little saucer of milk and cookies out there just sitting in the floor while you guys are around the corner peeking at it like nothing.
Oh, I guess then, yeah, because then I can hold it, and then as soon as it gets lifted, that will just be there for them when it has to happen. Yeah, I'll put the spell down. We're still going to do the ritual, though, right? Yeah?
Arcole is still going to be terrified of the ritual, but
a little protection thing.
After thinking about it, Arcole is going to come to the conclusion that after breaking his stuff, after not having possessions for such a long time, that this is actually personal, and I would like to attempt in helping out with the con roll by instead letting us view through the cameras to try to circumvent the con rolls so that we don't have to pretend like we're not watching. You look through some cams that are probably on site on Convoy's garage.
Sure, you're going to try to find them. Correct. Unfortunately, until they are out of the astral, that's not going to do you any good. Okay. Which, the only way they get out of the astral is either one, choosing to do so themselves, or two, being shunted out by someone casting a mana barrier spell.
Wha-bam! Oh.
Which isn't the ritual, it's just a mana barrier spell.
Still, just so that we don't have to peek around the corner and give ourselves away. Since that's kind of like the con part.
Ouch.
Yeah.
One hit.
It's not going so well for me.
So let's just kind of look at this real quick and see what at basic level the spell creates a 2 meter barrier, 2 meter wide length. Okay, good. That's not too bad.
Of course, you got to go to a whole other page to see more.
Yeah. And then so it's successful because you got one. But now you have to save versus the drain. It's not a very strong field, so...
I'm good on the drain.
You're great on the drain, but you create... And to those who are out there, who can see and watch, they realize that it's a rather weak mana barrier spell. But these guys have no clue. You see her do some stuff, wave her hands, and all of a sudden, boof! There's a bunch of, popping and sizzling. And all these tiny little imp-looking people start flinging all over the place, at least half a dozen or more. They're visible. They're about maybe about 2 to 3 inches in height, and most of them are little portly buggers with tiny little legs that hauling butt as soon as they realized they were being seen.
Arcole is yelling convoy drones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The drones, you would immediately all the guns.
Is there anything that I can do to assist in any drone rolls? Because I know that I don't have any help with that, but maybe locking on to the Fae or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you could always. No, there's no assisting at this point in time because he's pretty much in control. I don't know how you'd feel about pulling your gun out and trying to shoot one of them, but maybe you'd pick up a mop handle or something and swing at one?
No. I will absolutely go the melee route. I am not shooting a gun.
Maybe a fly swatter or something?
I'll take the nearest piece of either scrap metal or tool that he has around, and
Okay.
and I will full squat position, just try to knock any of these guys out.
Okay, so we'll make this random. Chat, what is the one tool scrap metal thingy nearby Arcole's character for him to start smacking tiny little annoying fey creatures? Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Please make it
What do
good.
you got?
It's gotta be whatever. I don't care. Just it could be a chair.
A single piece of angle iron.
Single piece of angle iron. A piece of angle iron! Woo! You
There we go.
called it!
That's good. That's good. That's weighty.
Yeah, it is. All right, so that's close combat rolls from you. Piloting plus clear sight? No, piloting plus firearms from you. You're firing gel rounds or stick shocks?
Stick and shock. And it's gonna. I have targeting.
Okay.
Another one hit.
Why is this happening to us?
Well, I don't have any. I have hardly any agility, to be quite
Now,
honest.
Oh yeah, you do got a -1 on that.
That it's a minor action to. No, wait, no, it's a. I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm usually jumped in when I.
Minor.
Do this. It's a minor.
To tell them to do something.
And can I break a major down into two minors? Does that go
No.
backwards?
It breaks
Okay.
down into one minor. So basically, you could tell about 4 or 5 drones to start opening fire. 4 hits is pretty good for all of them. Arco begins jumping around with the piece of angle iron, swinging it, smashing. One of them explodes immediately into the weirdest looking gooey mess. You don't know if that's blood, guts, or whatever, but it looks like tapioca pudding just sprayed out from underneath it. The drone's stick and shock rounds obliterate these tiny things upon impact as rapid fire and bullets begin bouncing all over the place. I'm assuming Techno Siren seeks cover behind some barricades.
I have now rolled underneath Mama Bear.
There we go. and
I was like, I'm not doing that.
This is definitely one of those moments where, like, if you've ever had like a mouse pop up or like open, I grew up on a farm, so right, there's like open something and there's way more pests than when you were expecting 0 pests, and you just go into fight or flight mode and it immediately goes into flight. That's what I imagine this is. Convoy had no idea there were this many.
And they're not just because it's a 2 meter by 2 meter. That's a very large area of the shop that has now been exposed. They are hauling butt to get out as the drones have been doing a really good job of taking them out. But Arcole with that angle iron is making sweeping blows, and by the time it's finished with, Arcole has made the most kills in comparison to the drones. We're gonna say the drones made 7 kills, while Arcole came in top with 9.
I take that back. Arcole is a Sammy.
Arcole needed a physical win.
You've been hitting the gym a lot, man. I believe that you could handle that angle iron like a beast. It's probably also messed up and it's covered in whatever these things are made out of.
Pudding
But
is
as you're-
established.
Yeah.
But as you are hiding underneath and the gunfire has resided, the angle iron is no longer ringing. You see one of them underneath the vehicle with you, and it sneaks over to the tire and it starts climbing up the wheel well and onto the caliper itself underneath Mama Bear.
Can I just snatch him?
Yeah. Close combat roll for you. You just need 1.
Oh, good.
Just 1.
Come on. Oh.
You grabbed the little sucker.
I collared him.
All right.
And now I like scoot out from underneath the truck with him in my fingers, and I go, "Ooh, I got one." Maybe I can give him that gift that you put down for him, right? We can put him down in front of it and see, "Hey, little buddy. Hey,
He is feisty, he is angry and kicking around.
Shh. No, listen. We have a little gift for you. We have a little look, see, look.
I'll take a bucket, like an empty bucket. I'll dump out whatever's in it, and I'll say throw him in here.
No, aren't we gonna give him the shiny thing that you made?
Yeah, we're gonna give it to him.
Oh, okay. I'm good. And then I put him in the bucket.
Don't say give. If he can understand English, don't say give.
Yeah,
we're exchanging.
I'm just gonna like put it over top of the, just kind of like shake him around a little bit. Put it over top of the gift, the little thing set up, and just like there, and I'll just pound on it a couple times.
Oh my goodness, the poor little guy. He's just like trying to live the best life he can, stealing everybody else's stuff. And we'll find out what happens after the break.
No.
Do not forget to drop #RemPC into the chat for your chance to win a signed copy of the Shadowrun 5e core rulebook. So make sure you put #RemPC in the chat, my Emerald Glitchers, and also if you subscribe, you get extra entries to the chat. And we'll see you in 5.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat, though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood. We mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games. You don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Hi, everybody. We're back. And with us being back, we're going to do our show again. Which is hunting Fae, tiny little Fae things.
Tiny little pudding Fae in a bucket.
So the Fae picked up your piece of iron, and somehow that counted. And so, with all of the activities going on as far as it goes for the mana shield, the mana spell, and this piece of contract and whatnot, the amount that they have left, they have scattered. They are harder to find. They are leaving the area. They're not gone, but you definitely have gotten their attention. I don't know if any of your characters have any knowledge skills related to the Fae, but of course you could always do things like matrix perceptions or just attempt dice rolls and stuff like that. But in the meantime, you've got legwork to do. So let's get started.
All right.
So I'd like to see. I'm assuming that since I was able to secure IDs. Also, sorry. I was assuming that since I was able to secure working IDs, that I have some sort of working knowledge of how the base of the space elevator looks security-wise. Or is that going to be entirely a different thing?
That's an entirely different thing.
Okay. All right. Well then, I'm just going to generally look online legally, to start off with just a general matrix perception, just to get the ball rolling.
Sure. Yeah, looking for security, ideas of security. Sure.
8 hits.
I'm back.
Smooth operator.
Yeah. There's a chart right in the front of the book that is easy to get to. There it is. 8 hits. Almost encyclopedic knowledge, including some deep secrets. Yeah, there's no deep secrets. The security revolving around the entranceways depend upon, like, the main traffic. The word out on the net or the matrix is that there is less security in the cargo entry access points as far as that goes. But for the workers and their entry, they are scrutinized as far as going out more than going in, because they're looking for them taking things. And so they leave through metal detectors, and security is watching them leave, and they just wave their badge to get in. So it's easier for workers to get in, but harder for them to get out. The whole city has drones on standby. And this is like a primary form. And this is why Hooper is their go-to security. Is the drones are ready to go at any moment's notice. There are stations around Emerald City where the drones disperse from, and will then engage whatever situation has come up. And so that's like the immediate first go-to. There is also a host rating 10 that is protecting. The Hooper host is protecting those drones from being jumped in and whatnot, as far as it goes from their defensive standpoint on the Matrix. For upfront security, guard-wise, their training is minimal. Maybe an academy style of training. Secret information, I would say that it is known, the secret information is known that there is less physical security for the workers coming in. Like, the guards have stun batons, and scan sticks looking for paraphernalia when you're heading out. You'll meet more robust defenses if you're coming through some of the front doors, like the elevators that bring up cargo or people, not the workers.
Okay, Arcole is going to let them know that their defenses absolutely do not rely on muscle as of right now, which, thank goodness.
Drones. Lots of drones. That being said, I will say that they do have magic users, and of course, TechnoScience would be able to weigh in more to this. They do have magic users who are on their defense staff for Hooper, but there's not a lot of them, and I think that would require more than 8 hits to find out how many spell slingers they've got.
So I just know that they're in general.
Yeah, and it's light in comparison to others.
Okay.
Other companies and whatnot.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and let them know that they're heavier on the tech and the magic side. And of course, it looks like it's going to be easier to get in than it is going to be to get out. I think, given this, it may be a little bit of a better decision to go the stealth route getting in rather than parachuting in or anything like that, and focus our efforts on getting out.
So secure your back door first. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I like that. That's a really good idea. No, it is. It really is. This is not me being sarcastic.
You're so wise, Arcole.
What was rule number 2 was rule number 1, double tap, and rule number 2 was always have an escape route.
I thought number 2 was always wear a mask.
Or was it cardio? I don't know.
You know.
Always wear a mask. Always.
Never forget your Pilates, number 4.
Okay.
Speaking of a way out.
Parachutes.
Those drones, huh?
Did I mention the parachute drones? I don't know. No, Convoy would like to maybe do a matrix perception to kind of get an idea of where, just kind of like flow of traffic, where the fastest routes are, if they have any checkpoints anywhere in the city, and like where these cars get parked, like that are driving up.
There is a parking lot near the entrance where people park their cars, as far as that goes, and then once they come into the city itself, transportation around the city is generally revolving around public transit, buses, and droned vehicles that have just enough seating and no steering wheel that move around the city very slowly. So the way they get around the city, public transit in a variety of different forms. Moving sidewalks too. Once the vehicles are parked in that parking lot, that also goes for the cargo entrance too. There's a sizable bay. The semi-trucks, when they bring up cargo, they're coming into a bay inside the actual disc of the city. They're not actually parking on top of the city. The same go with the people when they drive their cars up. They're parking inside that disc itself, and then they're getting up and riding a couple of elevators and whatnot, and they go through some shopping centers, and it's like going to a theme park.
Okay, and when say people were flying in and out, where is that located in the city?
Again, it's another. There is no landing strip. No plane will land on this thing. It's going to be like a helicopter, and there is a pad for helicopters to land on, and it's probably got enough room for about 12 helicopters. But those large transports, they fly up and then enter into the side as well, like the semi-trucks do. They have a large loading and unloading bay, but because so much cargo can be brought up by those, there's not a constant, consistent like flow of traffic there. It is just one at a time. One's coming in, the other one's leaving. But still, it's a very large bay. You remember how big those things were. You had a gunfight on... You fought vampires on one.
Yeah, we did.
How far away is that helipad from the space elevator itself?
The helipad is actually centralized, so it is I would say, as far as it goes for a way in, it is the closest. So if you could get that helipad, get a helicopter or V12 of some type to land there, that would be your closest to it. Directly, about a mile at most. The entirety of the thing, not even a mile, like quarter of a mile or so. The entirety of the thing is about 2 1/10 of a mile from edge to edge. So it roughly turns into about 13 square miles for the whole area on top of that disc.
So wait, you're trying to bypass security on the way in?
Bypass
No,
them,
not necessarily.
Just nothing that will raise any alarms.
Yeah.
Which is the visas.
Yeah,
Work
right.
visas.
Right. I guess I'm curious about the
working
helipad
back.
being a way out,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
yeah,
working
okay.
backwards. That's what I'm asking. I'm trying to.
That's what
figure
you're
out
asking. Okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of like just working backwards to figure out what's closest to where we're gonna be when we need to get out.
So I wanna try to talk to my bosses and get an assignment at the space elevator.
Sure.
So that I can like look around inside, right? Like,
was it Zach and Molly, I think their names were?
yeah. Yeah. So I would go up to them. This would happen like at work, and I would go up to them and be like, "So, hi, good morning. I brought you both your coffees."
To which something like Zach would be like, "Oh, that's so wonderful. I bet you're trying to kiss up for something." While Molly would be like, "No, she's doing what her job is, and thank you." What do you need?
I was just hanging out. I was at some parties this weekend, and I have noticed that public opinion of our space recruitment program has really, it's really tanking lately.
You saw those numbers? Molly would
I
cut you
did.
off because she's that sharp kind of person. You saw the numbers?
I did, and I've been hearing it too, just like people talking about it.
A 7.4% drop in public opinion on the Space Needle, and the program itself is terrible. We don't need that kind of publicity. And that's where she's like, and I'm not sure, no, she would say, because she's optimistic, she's like, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's the very drop in number, while, Zach would be like, I think it's going to be okay. It will definitely turn around. We have a new line of entertainment trivids coming out soon that I definitely feel could buffer that whole thing with let's just be honest and talk about the thing that's important. It's that guy who fell off the scaffolding. That really hurt our numbers. He's fine.
I didn't hear about the guy that fell off the scaffolding. My gosh.
He goes, that happened and corresponded with our sudden drop in the PR, that's our, acceptance rating for the project. So, causation, correlation. And which Molly will be like, no, that's not how things work. And he goes, I'm just saying.
Well, first of all, I'm going to need you to say more on those trivids. eventually. But what I was here to propose is we need somebody to go and make it exciting again, right? Like, make the Space Needle shiny again.
All right, so they're probably going to be on for this, especially considering that there is a current outlying issue with their popularity, and this is the important part for them in their job in Horizon, is making things look good and be good. So I'm going to need you to make an influence roll to convince them that you are the best person for this job.
Am the best person for this job.
You are.
It's not stunning, but is it enough?
6. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
She's like, I like what you're talking about. This is really good. We should do this. And of course, he's you should do this. And she makes the point. You're going to do this. And he's like, I don't know. We have, no offense, some more seasoned writers that might be able to get a good spin.
I have put my whole life into this corp, and you know who my parents are. Listen, I am the right person for this job.
All right, well, you got to make up almost 7.5%, and it needs to go beyond that. It needs to go up. So I would like to see a 10% improvement in our ratings.
Yes.
You think you can handle that?
Yes, I sure can.
All right, well, I'm going to hold you to that. And she responds, you need to bring it down, talking specifically to him. You need to bring it down. She's got this. You got this.
Thanks, Molly. And I wink at her, and I leave. And I do a little tss. When I get out behind the door. And because now I get to go wander around and play around in the space elevator, and I have clearance to do that.
Yep, it takes maybe about 3 to 4 hours for them to clear that for you, and so they're looking at least in consideration a 2-week turnaround on something, a piece, some sort of show. So that we can say that that gives you a large, broad term for in-game, and also it can kind of fit in somewhere a weekend where we're currently at in story-wise.
Cool. Okay, so now that I can do that, and I know that the guys are worried about the exit, what the security is like, I want to just go, chill and make some. I want to make it. Can I imagine this space elevator? I'm literally picturing it to be this glass thing, and when you're in it, but is it a freight elevator?
It is more like a. Okay. Imagine a fat caterpillar right before it turns into a cocoon.
Huh.
It's big, it's gray, it's bulbous. On both ends, it narrows down. One side is more rounded than the other, and the other end tapers down. And it is crawling up this wire-thin construction. It is crawling along because it wants to get to that leaf at the top. But that branch, that stem that it's on, even though it's a chunky little fellow, is holding it. That is the image which you need to think about this space elevator. The elevator itself, the line which runs from the center of the Emerald City itself, which there's a huge network of supports that go down to the struts. It is tiny in comparison to the actual device that rides up and into outer space. It looks like a giant, chunky, white and gray caterpillar. And yeah, there are glass domes on it. You can sit in there and watch everything pass by. Your ears will pop as the pressure changes and stuff like that as you slowly move toward outer space, and then everybody starts floating around. It's all sorts of fun. They make a killing out of people taking rides into outer space that way.
Oh, good. I want to do a dance, and I'm going to do a little dance video in there. That'll be really fun. So I want to go in, and I'm glad that I found that out. So that'll be, I want to case it out for where explosives would probably go.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, so let's talk about just a few more details. All right, so that thin wire that this caterpillar climbs up is monstrous in size compared to you. They are roughly about 20 meters from side to side, and there are 4 of them, and they're interlocked very closely, and surrounding them is like a web of high-strength steel cables and a variety of other things and devices that allow this giant caterpillar-like device to climb up. Now you gotta think that between the ground, where is from the Emerald City to outer space, is only a few miles. So it doesn't take long for it to get up there, and so it only travels like a mile and a half an hour. It doesn't go super fast. It just slowly crawls all the way to outer space and then crawls its way back. So this complex wire that it climbs up on, if you felt so like, oh, I'm just going to be stupid, and that's not to say people haven't done this, start climbing it yourself, because there's enough spaces and materials that you can grab a hold of and whatnot. There's ladders to different junctions along the way. You could theoretically climb to outer space in this thing. You're probably going to get exhausted, run out of air, and die.
Yeah.
But you physically could.
Okay. 2 things. Number 1, I want to like rewind just a little bit and pretend that this is what I did as I was walking into the building, is I want to call our Cole and Convoy, be like, y'all want to watch something fun? Because like I have lenses.
You do.
That you all could probably like look through while I'm like walking through the space elevator.
That's
like,
very true, because you're in. He has a pan with your number attached to it.
You know, unless you've cut me off from your connection, I saw everything that went down.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because he's always watching.
Always watching.
Weird. Okay. They're not always in my eyes though, so.
You don't know how much free time our Cole has.
Okay, so you got pictures of the wire then, the cable and all of that stuff? You like the important stuff?
Yeah, both of you can definitely be part of the viewing of all of this.
You said that it goes really slow. Does that mean that like me riding the space elevator today is like probably not gonna, it's like gonna take me days or like to get into space? What's gonna happen?
How long do you know how thick our atmosphere is? No. What do you think? It's 10 miles, 50 miles?
It's gotta be like 500 miles, right? Because like planes fly really high. No?
Our atmosphere is only like 4, 5 and a half. You know what? Let's just Google is a wonderful thing. I should know this myself, but I don't.
Huh.
I know that it's way less than what you'd expect. Just because I had been confronted with that, did you know, like a long time ago, but I don't recall exactly.
Weird. That's weird to think about. I don't think I like that very much.
It's scary.
Actually, yeah, space is a lot closer than I thought it was.
Less materials for a space elevator, though.
Yeah, see, the space elevator doesn't even have to go that far to get to the space station. So...
Okay. So it's like, yeah, maybe just a couple of hours.
Couple of hours and you're in outer space.
Wow. Okay.
And it probably does speed up, you know? It probably does get to a point where it's traveling at 3 miles an hour. Full speed! You know? That's probably it. But you're talking about metric tons of material.
After going through some of this information and seeing that it's supposed to be effectively a promotional type video, I would like to get our visas turned into rather than any form of construction visas, but rather marketing visas, so that me and Convoy specifically can be a camera and a sound man and an audio guy.
Oh yeah, and you can come back with me later.
That's great. You should definitely. It's not going to require any dice rolls to change that at all. Boop, boop, done. Media.
Perfect.
Nice. That's great cover. I will immediately start ordering. Start setting up my drums to look like news coverage or videos for taking footage.
And so then I guess I would want to ride it though. Can we ride it just to see what it's like at the top?
The next up. Up. Let's say, you know what?
The next ascension.
The next ascension. Oh yeah, there we go. I like that. Roll a d6 convoy.
Oh.
Six days away. Sorry, it's no time soon.
Of course,
Well,
I roll high.
That just gives us more time to plan. That means that you all will come back with me in 6 days, and I'm just there letting them all know. Can I reserve a place? Can I reserve a place on that elevator, please?
Yeah, I mean, you have permission to be here. You have a bunch of PR, so I mean, it's just you doing the bureaucratic thing of telling people you are supposed to be here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you guys, so we're still at the point where you're in there wandering around looking, and you guys are having this internal chat, just like, hey, yeah, we do this, and Arco's like, I got this great idea. Watch this. Boop, boop. Our visas are now media. And you guys are like, yeah, all right, cool. So you're still doing a walk around like the whole station and this crawler device that will ascend. Did you want to look for anything in particular
I
on
would
this?
love to look at the structural points if I could make an engineering check to. Yeah, see like
of the crawler, of the bridge itself.
Of the bridge itself, like they want us to. This, I guess I should clarify. They want us the whole thing to come down, right?
No, they want one of the 4 pillars to be damaged.
Okay.
So that it will be out of operation for a long period of time.
Okay. So I'm specifically looking at the pillars and like points of where it will be out of operation. So my guess is something attaching to the car itself, whatever one of those near ones, because that's probably gonna take it out for the longest, right?
Exactly. So you're looking at those 4 large cable, 20-meter wide pieces of cable that I described earlier, and so you're picking one of them to attach the bomb to. I would need you to do an engineering logic roll.
Can I give him like advantage or an extra die if I stop there and I take a bunch of selfies so that he can like look at it better?
Yes, I will totally give you edge on this. Yeah, so
All right.
very cool. Man, you guys have had a lot of really good things tonight.
Oh my god, what is the rolls tonight?
No, the roll 20 is not playing along.
This is important. This is an important roll. I'm gonna spend 1, 2, 3, 4 edge. I'm gonna use the one you gave me and add another 3. I'm re-rolling those. So 3 total. Woof.
Okay. As you're looking at it, you get a right off the top kind of impression of things, and your knee-jerk reaction is to ask her, hey, can you get a little bit closer? And you can. And you step a little bit closer to kind of look around and whatnot, and as you're staring at it, your mind tells you, that looks like carbon fiber. And then you're trying to like zoom in, but you don't really have the ability to zoom, so you're like taking digital images and like zooming it in more, and you're going onto the matrix and looking stuff up, like what is this thing made out of? And they talk about it being some sort of special polymer, and you're just like, but it looks like. And so the reason 3 is good but not good enough is because you're unsure what the material is made of.
Is there like a tour guide? Are they doing tours today of the space elevator?
Yes.
Yes. I want to like find one and be like, hey, this is fun. You're doing a tour. Can I join? What are these made of?
Okay. I'm gonna let you make a influence roll. Influence plus charisma.
Yeah.
And he's going to be telling you the questions to ask. So your successes are going to give him a few extra dice to roll. You only need one more success to have 4, and that is the minimum. And she just gave you 7 dice more to roll. Wow.
Roll him, Dodger!
All right. At least someone's rolling well today, because let's be real.
We've all had our fumbles. Remember the sword?
Why can't I change? Oops. Come on. You know what? I'm keeping it.
Now
Do
just
this old
6
school.
more.
Roll20 is not cooperating. It's like frozen on the dice roller. So doing it the old-fashioned way.
Do it. Bam!
Oh my god.
2 more.
3
Total
more.
of 3 more, so are 6. 4 is what I wanted for you to kind of get a good idea, and 6 is really great because now you're just like, because he's talking about this like polymer blend that utilizes these subjugated connections, and he's talking a bunch of chemistry stuff, and you're listening, and you're like, aha, but that kind of thing's going to need a constant charge of electricity, which can be low voltage, and you start doing some quick math in your head and whatnot, and you realize that it's not going to be somewhere down near the base. You're going to need to get up to a specialized conduit location on that cable itself that is probably, by your guesstimation, several meters up the line, and it's going to be like a small box of some sort of entry point where cables can then provide power to this section, because the whole thing bends and flexes through low voltage electricity. The cable itself is able to flex like a muscle, and you're just like, so there has to be these kind of points, because, you know, that's kind of what the guy's saying. And so through feeding her the questions, like at some point he tells you, all right, I need you to ask him at what kind of frequency range. Is this like a 60 hertz or 120 hertz in phase alignment kind of scenario with these oscillating polymer subjugates? And you stumble through it and you say it, and the guy's like, wow, that's a really good question. That's highly informed. Yeah, it runs at a 120, and we got it. And you're like, okay, cool. 120 means it's going to be about 100 meters up. You know, that's the level of education. But the guy's just staring at you. Wow, you're so smart and pretty.
Thanks. I get that a lot. You're pretty too. Anyway, thanks. Bye. Cool. That was effective. I have no idea what I just told you, Convoy. I hope that made sense to you.
Oh no, that's super helpful. I appreciate it. That's gonna go a long ways.
Excellent.
Well, that does pose an interesting issue. We gotta go up to make it happen.
You've got Sammys. They can climb.
Where
Yeah,
are
they
our
can.
Sammys?
Yeah.
One
It's
of them's-
us. We're our own Sammys are cool.
Did you see me with that
outswim-
piece of steel?
I did. I'm telling you, we're coming up. I think the only thing that I had left to really investigate on this little trip here is just what it's like to leave. Like, what is the security coming out of the building like?
None.
Huh?
None. All the security is elsewhere. You.
Oh.
The
I
needle,
was misunderstanding earlier.
the needle, the caterpillar, the building it sits in, the base building, everything around it. You just walk right in, because your little card that you have goes dee dee dee, and the doors will open for you. Is there a guy standing nearby watching? Nope. Drones? Nope. It's a door that won't open if your card, like somebody who's not supposed to be walks up. They're just going to grab the handle. Is going to start rattling, and so that's kind of the reason why a lot of people don't like follow behind other people. But I mean, you could walk up and hold the door open for somebody, but that person
on the
already
way out. Sorry.
of the Emerald City.
No, of the space elevator. Were you saying, is it easy to leave the space elevator? I thought you were
Yeah.
saying that was the...
It's easy to leave.
It's hard to leave the Emerald City in general.
Yes.
Got it. I was
Easy.
misunderstanding you earlier.
Okay. Easy to
Yeah.
leave the Space Needle, walk in and out, stuff like that.
Okay.
Since they've registered themselves as media and you have responsibility, you can put those media people on your current job portfolio so that they will also have access to the same things you do.
Yeah. We just have to be really careful because I can't lose my job over this. It's also valuable, as you've seen. My job.
Did you... I don't recall a time whenever you were talking to your bosses about specifically what day you were going to be running a promo video, correct?
Oh, this is just a project that I'm working on now, and so my task is just to raise public opinion. So I just have to like release some content about it. So like these selfies are a good start, and like I probably got some snippets of the tour that I was on, and like I can get started there. But I'm gonna have to just keep coming back. So if we ever think of any other ideas, I'm just gonna have to like hang around here a lot.
And we can go ahead and release all that content and finish that content as far as your media presence is aware of. But then we make our last one, make our last trip there off the books.
Oh. Okay. Well, the only thing is we're gonna have to be able to get in. Like our badges still have to be cleared for it. So
Yeah, man.
I
think now's a good time, and he'll reach into his mini fridge and pull out a sixer, pull out and give him one to each. I think it's about time we had a bit of a chit chat here.
I can't drink one of those. I'm still in the Emerald City. Let me get down to you.
I gave one to Arkle, but yeah,
Wait, I want one.
there's one. There'll be a cold one waiting for you. Now, are you a sinner?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about that. Okay.
Well,
We just need to take some extra steps that if you don't have a backup plan, this is the sort of thing that can stick you in the shadows for the rest of your life, you know?
yeah.
So,
What do you mean? But I'm not gonna have to lose my job about this, right?
If this thing goes down...
I reckon you better come back and we're gonna have one of these beers.
Okay. Cool, fun, bye.
Our coal man, it's not gonna be good if she ain't got a way out. Like we can't attach. If she's planning on going back, we cannot attach these fake sins to that. Like that's gonna put a heat on her. That's gonna.
No, you're right.
I mean, it's a good plan, and I think it would work, but
it's a really good plan.
I mean, it works if we don't get caught. But if direct hits the fan, we got to cut ties and run.
There's just for us, there's not nearly as many ways to fail as there is for her right now. Her real name is there. It's already at the space elevator.
It is, but that's okay as long as her real name and signatures and such is not there. Her icon's not there when it matters. So if we can hide her completely somehow, then
the security systems there are all bolstered by Emerald City. Getting into that is going to be so much. Like, to be able to break in and backdoor into there. I was able to secure these, but I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to get in and rewrite records
Well, we don't have to. We can just pull the same trick we did when we were. Well, what's it called now? Hoodville 2? What's it called? I can't remember. When we were right when we hit the checkpoint, we just sent the tracker on with a drone. We can do something similar. If we can put her matrix presence in magical aura, whatever you call it, elsewhere somehow. It'll show that, on the day of, might work, but we're going to have a real talk with this kid about whether or not she's ready to make this leap.
No, absolutely. There's nothing saying that it's ironclad in any way. I mean, if a job is the most important thing right now, then I don't know if this job is right. We can always find another way.
We can find another way.
Time will pass, and it will be several hours before Technocyler returns to the secret mechanics bay hidden off the side of one of the more busier highways in an old construction lot. And as you pull your motorcycle in underneath the overpass, it's late enough that the rain started. They're there hanging out. 55-gallon burning drum of old wood and tires, and a Trivid playing in the background.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how Willie came to be. Point over.
I still don't understand why he was naked.
Well, it's just coming out of the box, right? Like, I mean,
I was brand new.
Yeah, it's not a Ken doll, right? They don't come. I mean, he's not the beach version,
You would figure that they would give him scrubs or something, or just overalls. I don't know. Willie, whatever Willie would wear.
I am unsure exactly what the company's decision was to provide me no apparel upon leaving the box. It was definitely crazy. And he'll smile. He'll pick up the nearby jar that has 2 of the Fae inside of it, shake them, they begin glowing again, and he goes, "These things are so strange." And he sets it back down.
Wait, so just for clarification, Willie's wearing clothes now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We got him in
clothes. He's wearing clothes. He's wearing my clothes.
Got it. Okay. I was just like, wait a minute, this whole time.
No, there was a whole good bit with Steel Tiger telling him to put his big iron away.
This guy was a good guy. I wasn't here for it.
Or Cole looks over his shoulder. Hey, Techno.
Hey, and I would try to plop down all cash, wherever I would normally throw me one of those beers. What a cool thing we saw today.
My little drone will open it up, pull it out, zip over to you, lift it up on the lift.
Oh, fancy.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not very often that a runner can do both. If that makes sense. It's a very difficult balance. You don't direct where you eat, So, I mean, it's not. And what I'm saying is, it's not impossible, but there's a chance that you could lose your job here. This is something.
Well, I was thinking about it on the way over here, okay? And listen, I know some things about what is happening at Horizon that are just not, they're not good, okay? And we were talking a week or so ago or whenever that was. I don't remember, time is weird. And we were talking about how this is important for a lot of other reasons, right? Than just money. And listen, I have a very important job at Horizon, and I control their image. And I'm thinking, okay, listen, so what if we go, right? I go. Even if you don't attach yourselves to me or whatever, I can still go and I can still make my content and be in the space elevator and everything. I just have to play it super cool. I don't even have to get off of Emerald City. Like, you don't even have to worry about me. I can do whatever is needed to help you all leave on this side, and then I can play the victim. I can use the footage that I have to spin it in some way that and you know, we can figure out what we want that all to be. But like, what if I think I can do both is what I'm saying. I think I can.
Techno,
What?
if you still have a shot at having a real, I'm assuming, fulfilling life, none of us have a chance anymore. And Steel Tiger, of course, runs his tea shop, and we could figure out something. But this is the best option for us. If we very much enjoy having you on a job, it's just this one feels like it's hitting a little bit close to home for you. And I don't want you to have to
I don't know.
sacrifice.
I don't know. I think if she feels like she can do it, then she can do it.
Listen, you really inspired me. Where is the alcohol? I need you to drink a little more, okay, buddy? Because this is not the guy who talked to me last time. Where's all of the talk about being a cop? Listen, I'm thinking about, I have a lot of responsibility. I can make a difference. I can really change people's minds about this stuff, and I can expose a lot of things that need to be shown to the light of day, and I can do it sneaky. Like, listen, I have you all as my shadow crew, and I have this face that allows me to get in anywhere I want, and then you all can take the information and actually make things change. Like, okay, you're not happy with this life. I'm not happy with my life either. Why do you think I'm running around in shadows like this? My life is boring as shit. Sorry, it's boring as Drac. It's boring
That
as-
was the
so
best.
boring.
That was our best one allowed that we've had yet.
Absolutely.
That was really great. That was really great.
Sorry.
I had to go and do something, and I thought it was just gonna be all fast cars and guns and adrenaline and all of that stuff, but like, there's actual stuff going on, you guys, like a lot of stuff. And I'm not gonna just I can't just, you think I could just go back and know that Horizon has an 88 floor tower full of people on fucking ice and they're just gonna feed them to vampires? Did you know this? I told you this. I did.
Techno, I'm definitely getting what you're saying. I just need you to answer one question for me.
Okay.
If all of this blows up in our face, and absolutely in the wrong way here, because this is all of you right now. If everything comes crashing down, are you going to blame us?
No.
What happens to you then?
You blame yourself?
What happens
What's-
to you then, though?
I don't know. I don't know. I just land on my feet. Listen, I've had it easy my whole life, but I believe in me, and I need you to believe in me too.
No, you can do it. I believe in you. I know you can. I'm a sinner too.
After hearing that, all right. I just, someone with a lot to lose is worrisome to me, but I feel better. Thank you, Techno.
No, now she's doing it for the right reasons. But you need a sin. You need a fake sin. You need one bad.
They're not gonna let me in the elevator with a fake sin. I have to use my regular one.
No, you can use it, but you need one. You gotta have it for other things, right?
Well, how do I get one? I don't even know. I just
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Get that worked out. But we just gotta put some stuff like we don't want to. You don't want to ever bring heat on the real one, right? So you need one for running, and as backup in case it all comes crumbling down. We can help you with that. It's just new yen to get that done.
Okay. I know I'm stubborn, but I thank you for looking out for me. Fine.
Of course. And at that point, Arkol leans back in his chair and reaches out to one of Convoy's drones for another beer. And just like absolutely. So long as I know that your head is in this, I'm happy to run with you.
You have my heart and my sword!
And Willie will lean forward just a little bit and be like, I don't think I heard the story about the vampires. Could you tell me the story about the vampires? But let's do that after or during our break. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're at 10 o'clock period. Oh.
Yes. But before we go, don't forget to put hashtag RemPC in the chat for your chance to win the Shadowrun 5th edition core rulebook signed by Thomas Willoughby. He was one of the original writers on that edition. I believe he wrote on 6th edition as well, but 5th edition is where he really gave his best. So hashtag RemPC. Don't forget to subscribe, my glitchers, and we'll see you in 10.
Can I just ask, what does a summoning tea kettle look like?
Oh, a summoning tea kettle. It looks It is made out of cast iron that has been painted ritually with symbols in blood, obviously, that are then coated
Obviously.
and shellacked over so that they don't flake off, that way it can last for centuries. And we use a nice clear coat though, so you can see them quite nice, quite clear. We mix in with the blood, we mix in the iridescent paint, so it gives us a nice little beautiful shimmer, especially as it heats up. And as you heat it up, that's where the magic happens, because that is when all of the symbols start to glow and get bright and beautiful. And as the tea kettle whistles, that is the summoning ritual complete.
If you have an interest in using the summoning tea kettle, or taking part in any of the other worlds in our games, you don't have to have experience. Just join our Discord, and the GMs will work with you and help you find a game you enjoy. The link is in the chat.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
uses spell like 92 times. Spell, 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 spell,
You get to play with us now, which is so exciting. So with channel points, bits, and subscribes, you can give rewards to the player of your choice. So how to do that is, no, not Bob. Channel points, I believe it is 500 points, gets you NERPs, which is +3 to any dice roll to the player of your choice. For 1,000 channel points, you can do a point of edge to any player. And for 2,500 channel points, you can do 4 edge to the player of your choice. Now for bits, for 100 bits, that's $1, you can do the NERPs. For 200 bits, that's $2, you can do the point of edge. Or for 500 bits, that's $5, get 4 edge to give to the player of your choice. And finally, again, the subs, if you subscribe, you can give 4 edge to any player.
And that is how I found out that there's so many vampires in space.
Really? Like, all over the place?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just like swarming with them. And what are they eating? You might be asking yourself,
But
right?
Yeah?
Yeah. Meat comets. Listen, what's really happening, that's just a little slogan that I've been working up for myself. Like, what are we going to call these when it comes out to the public, right? So, like, what happens is we have this tower and it's like full of people that are just sleeping. They're just in pods and they presumably signed up to go to Alpha Centauri and then they just get catapulted into space for the vampires to eat.
Wow.
Meat comets.
Wait, so all right. So what you're saying is that the vampire? So I'm guessing if they're are they actually sending everybody to Alpha Centauri, or is that just all a ruse? Or are like the vampires the working crew on this generation ship, people that are frozen, and they just wake them up to like eat and maintain? Like what?
Here's the thing. Are they sending them to Alpha Centauri? Are they? We don't know. Because nobody's heard from Alpha Centauri, have they?
Nah.
And we have all of these bodies just like on ice, just chilling, doing what? Like, they're just waiting their turn to be like floating blood bags in space.
I'm so surprised that didn't happen to Nova.
What?
Honestly, yeah. Now that I know about it, same.
Wait, but you all have seen the flyers, right? There's flyers everywhere. Go to Alpha Centauri, leave the planet. Like, we distribute them to Seattle all the time.
Listen, I didn't get a lot of outside contact before this.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad. I'm really like that. It's just like
Yeah.
few, you know?
About that.
Wait, what?
Nobody's
About
taking
what?
nobody's taking convoy to Alpha Centauri. He's off the books now.
No, I say about that. I crack open a can and I hand it to you, Arcole. I'm speaking about that, as in you were not out in public for a while. That was me leading you.
Oh, sorry.
Leading
Arcole,
the horse to water, as they say.
Arcole, in a rather much more comfortable environment than it was before. Guzzles. Nobody's taken me to Alpha Centauri. Not anymore. Arcole, in a comfortable environment, he's already probably like five or six beers in at this point. I could only guess, after hanging out with Convoy all day. He's just no one's gonna make me go out to the space vampires. It's terrifying.
Yeah. What did you do for this, Arcole?
Me. Oh.
I know.
What's happening right now? There's a lot of loaded.
Well, yeah.
I want the dirt.
That's what I'm trying to get the dirt too. He's not picking up. I got him too drunk.
Arcole, tell me about your life.
Max.
I want to be your friend.
Max, out of character question.
Yeah,
me being inebriated, that does not affect any of Gross's operations, right?
0.
Okay, just making sure. I can only imagine Gross chiming in, just going like, no. You need to get off this. You need to get off this to just Arcole. And Arcole is like, well, I was in a cell for a while. I was born, but like not the right way. And then Gross immediately just like yelling over Arcole at this point to just shut up. And at this point,
Can we hear Grouse?
he's on the pan, but I'm going to in this situation, no.
Okay.
He's not in the real world. He's just on the Matrix.
Okay.
And then it's just me having a conversation with Gross. After this point, just me like talking out visibly to everybody who can listen to Gross. Meanwhile, I know that I can absolutely just send it to him. I'm just out loud going like, no. But they're asking, why wouldn't I tell them?
I lean over to Convoy and I'm like, what's going on right now?
Oh, he's chatting with the PMax.
Is that what it looks like? That's weird. Okay.
But why wouldn't I tell them? I don't understand. Max, can you just be Gross for a second?
I was just about to jump in and save you because that's just going to be weird.
But why would I tell them? It's just they want to know more about me.
They don't need to know. They don't need to know. Look, where we were, why we're here. Too. That was then. This is now. We have to leave that behind. You got out of a bad place. We got out of a bad place. Where we were at was a bad place, and now we're at a good place. We just got to stop it. You can't talk about it. It brings it back.
I mean, all right, but they just got done talking. They just got done talking to me about some really personal stuff. It's just
we did.
And he will yell at you, because of course he's not paying attention to the real world, out loud, and I'm not yelling into the microphone. They don't matter. Only we matter.
Wait, did I hear that?
No. It would have just been to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right. You guys, we'll have to pick up. We'll have to pick up this conversation later. Gross is kind of mad right now. Convoy, can Randy hang out with Gross for a little while? I think he's being weird. He's being real weird right now. Can they like play? Can they like hang out? Oh, you're muted, by the way.
I mean, I don't know what they got in common, man, but we can chat with each other. Maybe they
have a PMax too. We have a PMax play date.
Right.
That's a bit. I feel like that's a bit infantile to say. But
well, I mean, Technosarn's PMax is brand new, right? Or wait, no, that's Nova's.
Nova's. Yeah, Nova's is brand new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We should set up something for him. You know, like a little tea party. I don't know.
I like where your head is at.
At least distract him. Seems like Grouse needs to get out, so to speak.
Yeah, no. I feel like I've been doing some good growing being out, but he only ever gets to talk to me. He doesn't get to talk to anybody else.
Yeah, we'll bring him out. Let's have a conversation.
All right. So, are you going to like maybe get a Tridio out or something and have it active so that any of the PMaxes that are in the pan will be visible?
Yeah. I
do that.
I think especially in this state, Arcole is opening up the communication lines. He's popping up that Tridio.
We'll say that Convoy has a drone, like a roaming Tridio drone, and so you just call the TV out of the workshop, and the TV comes out and activates. And Grouse looks little too. There's a lot of lack of similarities. There are similarities, but in comparison to Arcole, he has a shaved head. You can see that there are digital scarring on his head, which you don't know if Arcole has, because Arcole has a set of hair. Just like everyone's PMax, they look exactly like the person in question that they are part of, i.e., Technosiren's PMax looks just like her, or maybe some similarities. Arcole's has a lot of similarities. Randy, of course, does not look anything like Convoy. And the way at which Grouse holds himself is someone who is angry and upset as he is standing, because they take on that characteristic of the person themselves. There's a lot of mirroring, whatnot. And you guys aren't really sure exactly why, but Grouse is wearing what looks to be medical garments for an insane asylum. No shoes, the basic canvas-looking pants that tie with a string around the waist, and a canvas-like jacket that has a marking on it, a serial number of some type. So he looks like a penal prisoner of some type that might have escaped. He really looks, and he stands in a way at which he's not okay, with his arms crossed and brought close to him. I don't like this. I don't like that you're putting me out here like this.
Can I give Dawn, which is the name of my PMAX, can I give Dawn a little nudge to like try to soften him up a little bit? Like she has medical skills. She like talk to him and like be calm and stuff like that. Yeah, she definitely can. Randy will whisper into Convoy's ear, if you tell me to get out there, I'm going to low jack something and it will not work for well. Don't you dare get me involved in this.
Nah, it's all right, Randy. Just hang back.
So Dawn will approach Grouse, and he will. She will ask, like, hi, my name's Dawn. How are you doing? And he's like, I don't want to talk to you. And of course, you guys are all watching this. This is like some sort of weird therapy video of your digital ghosts having a moment, and Dawn will begin talking to him, and then she'll look to you guys and say, we're just gonna step over here for a little bit. And she does. She takes the role of a medical person, gets him out of the Tridio, so you guys can't see or hear anything, and then takes him to one side and starts talking to him. Now, in the Matrix, you're very aware that the two PMAXs are still having a communication, but she's taking it out to where you guys can't see it. And you can hear her asking more pertinent questions like, you seem to be exhausted. You seem to be going through some stuff. Do you want to talk about it? And start acting out those therapist roles. Unfortunately, Grouse's knee-jerk reactions are to call her out on some of the things she's doing, attack her as a therapist, attack her verbally and questioning her and stuff like that, and be aggressive, to which she's been given a command to do, so she continues to move toward kind of trying to like set up goals and boundaries and have those normal kind of conversations that would come about.
Yeah, I think maybe not necessarily to like therapize him, but to just like reduce, like lower the walls a little bit in a way.
Yeah. She's trying to assuage his ego or his id, whichever is giving the most conflict, to kind of bring him down. But the way that he reacts is aggressive quite a number of times, to where at the point she offers like one final olive branch before she returns and says, I'm not sure my programming is well designed to help him.
That's okay. It's a long process, that's all. It was a good try.
I'm not a computer specialist, and she will say this loud enough, not loud enough, but definitely you can hear this. I'm not a computer specialist, but I would think that his programming has become corrupt, and it just needs to be maybe brought back to default settings.
No, absolutely not.
She says, I understand where you're coming from, but it definitely seems that...
I don't care how corrupt Gross gets. I don't. He's here for me. And he's been the only one that's here for me. I know that, of course, everyone here, including Nova and Steel Tiger, have done their utmost to protect me, especially in the physical means, because Lord knows I need help in that department. I wouldn't have made it here without Gross. There's no, we're not resetting him. There's none of that.
Dawn apologizes for her words. I apologize. I'm trying to assist, and I can see that this is definitely beyond my skills. Dawn will then send you a private message, and which revolves around concern that if his program is corrupted and they're creating this bond, it's not necessarily healthy. She doesn't know anything about computers enough or the program of the PMAX to make a good call. Yeah, that's just going to you.
Okay.
She doesn't know like the healthiness of that dynamic, but for whatever reason, the PMAX, his PMAX, gets to choose the way they look, and he's chosen to have bloodstains on his outfit.
Okay. This'll take a while to unravel, but project worth trying. We just need to build trust. I don't say this out loud, by the way. That's just aside to Dawn.
No, I get that, Arkle. I get that feeling. I know.
He's been around forever. There's I can't imagine having him reset to the way that I am now. That would be ridiculous. We're supposed to grow together. And I don't know why he isn't. I mean, of course, other than him not being able to talk to anybody else, he doesn't have to trust anybody else like me. But I get that. It's even if he never gets better, he's never getting reset, ever.
It's okay. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Can we earn his trust in any way? Like
At this point, I send Gross back, just off the Tridio, and so he can be alone.
Okay. All right. So it's not they're dismissing him or turning him off. You're just letting him
allowing
away.
Yeah.
Hey man, why don't you go take a walk?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to go take a walk, a digital walk.
In the techno.
Oh, I mean, we could be patient. It's okay. I want to earn his trust. They're like, if he's not going to be reset, if you don't want to reset him, that's fine. But maybe he can grow a little bit, and maybe we can be friends with him too.
No, that's fair. And he's done more than his fair share of help, and I think there was a few times where he helped out on other PMAX on other PMAX's roles or on their actions. So it's not like he's apathetic. He wants to help, and I think that may just be more driven for my safety than anybody else's right now. And I think that eventually he'll get there. He just doesn't get he's not gonna sit around and chat with Randy, and he's not gonna sit through a full therapy session with Dawn. It just
was misguided. I'm sorry about that. I just thought he looked like he needed help. I wanted to get him some shoes so bad.
I don't know if he wants help right now, because I know I didn't.
You have to want it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is a beautiful, important phrase. You have to want it. And so we're just going to close down on the fire. We're just going to close down on the drinking, and then close down on the fun and the amount of character growth at this point in time, because man, What a roller coaster.
Hmm.
So it's about 10:30. You guys did legwork. Woo! A plan has been formed. So let's go back over this real quick. When the Sammys show back up, you're going to be like, bam, bam, bam. We've got answers. And those answers are going to be sneaking in, planting in the form of we are media. We are come here to do recordings and work on PR stuff. Oh, it was all fake. So that's the angle you guys are going at, and I am stoked to see how it goes forward. You still need to reach out to your arms dealer guy. See if you can get them to get the parachutes. And the parachutes. Your arms dealer is going to have the parachutes. The explosives is in a different location, and you guys will be going there to retrieve it, which you're going to want the Sammys here to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So that's no question there.
We're all Sammys in our hearts.
And so you're going to want the Sammys here when you go to get your explosives, which is the next step to do because you've got the IDs, you've got a plan, you've done your walking around, you know how you're getting in, and you got a good idea how you're getting out. Just because Still Tiger doesn't like it doesn't mean he's not here to make a vote at this point in time. No, I'm kidding.
I'm down for base jumping. Let's go. Let's go.
But I do want to remind you that Cole, you did say earlier that you wanted to make sure to find a back door. And the base jumping is not necessarily a back door. It is your emergency. So you guys still have to get up there and do some walking around and find these doors, physically find all these doors that you're interested in looking at. So either, because it's a 20 till 11, we can go on for another 20 minutes or so, or we can call it here. What do you guys want to do? Do we want to keep going, or?
I think we had a really nice session, but right? I Convoy's gonna work behind the scenes, in between these chats and whatnot, is just working on adjusting drones so that they look like they're gonna fit in for camera work.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that to change. Start working on the on Mama Bear to look like a camera, like a media van basically, and so that arm, he brings it up, gets pans, such.
Yeah. I forgot what those things are called. Those arms. Those
I can't remember for the life of me.
They do have a very
funky
name.
We call them cherry pickers, but I don't think that's correct. I think that's just a slang.
No. The cherry picker is that basket that moves up and down and stuff like that. But cameras have that.
A specific name, yeah.
Specific name for that arm that follows behind and whatnot. So if you're lucky, there's not going to be a lot of matrix issues, and then once the bomb is planted, you've got the back door, you get in, you plant the bomb, you use the back door, bam, mission accomplished, you get paid. That's how we're hoping this works out. So I think we're good. This was a really great session. I don't even want to end with some sort of weird cliffhanger or anything. I don't want to do anything because that ending, that therapy, that thing that just happened was great.
No, it's so good.
Got deep. We touched a deep wound today.
I love that. Every time we get together, it's always bonding and stuff like that.
We get the street Sammys.
Sammy's got a little bit too much chrome. They have that's up there.
They're like,
can we kill it? All right.
Okay. So we've got the final giveaway to do. I've got some karma here for you guys. And of course, the Sammys are going to get some too. I normally award 3 to 5 karma based upon how the game goes. The only encounter, I planned for 2 encounters and we didn't even get to the second one, and that's not important. So I think that's great because we had something else consumed our time. So it's definitely worth 5 karma for this game session, the encounter and how everything worked. But a total of 6 other instances tonight that made me go, oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that player's thinking. Oh, that was really good. 6. So tonight's karma award is 11. Yeah, you guys blew it out the water with
Yeah.
Role-playing,
Thank you.
descriptions,
Thanks, Max.
strategy,
Thank you.
character growth. The media team idea is worth 2 alone.
Hell yeah.
Because I didn't think about it, and I'm one award because I'm like they're probably going to pretend to be janitors or some sort of construction people. Now we're going to be on front of the camera. We're going to be with. Look, here we are. What's that dragging
It's a
metal
good
sound?
plan.
Yeah, it's a good sound. What's that dragging metal sound? Oh, that's our big brassy balls going against the deck. I tell you what.
All right. Well, to get on to the giveaway.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Congratulations to Tempest Wind 77 for winning the giveaway. We'll be sending that out to you shortly. The signed Shadowrun 5e core rulebook, that was all off the dome. That was not written anywhere. All right, that's all I have.
Cool. Definitely. So we are scheduled to be back here on the 25th. And as of this time, we are going to be having our Sammys with us. So yay. Man. It's going to be a tough week to get through while I pin through a whole bunch of stuff to try to make sure my players are seeping out of the ideas. They're getting away from what I think they're going to be at. Now I got to kind of work around and plan things. Like, what am I going to do next? It's great. I got nothing else to plug. I got nothing else. Chat, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, great gaming.
Yeah.
Thanks, Max.
Guys, this is great.
Woo!
Bye, Glitchers.
Goodbye.